All right, welcome back, friends, family, and just coworkers, others, colleagues. Welcome back to another Last American Pubcast. I am Tom from America Floats, and with me, as always, is Frank from Let's Be Frank.
Hello.
PJ Williams from the Conspiracy Pilled podcast.
How's it going?
Abby Libby's out tonight. She's taking private flying lessons, so filling in for her is KTZ. Katie, welcome to the show. Thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Frank, take us over. Tell the good people at home what they've won.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. You guys have won some fantastic things. Let me tell you what, we have a great show lined up for you tonight, but not only tonight, also Tuesday night. We're hosting an election watch party. We're hoping that you guys are going to come and hang out and have a celebration with us as we track the election from coast to coast. We'll be on air from 6:30 p.m. to
2 a.m. the next day, at least.
Having numerous guests. I believe even KTZ will be joining us at some point on that night as well, coming back and joining us. So I'm hoping that you guys will come out and celebrate with us, and as we continue to keep everything informed and entertained and as we go on. But the biggest thing right now that we are seeing is the desperation from the left. There's so many different areas where we are currently seeing so many gaslighting attempts, so many narrative changes as they kind of try to, deflect from their epic failures they've had for the last couple of years in this country. Has been quite amazing. Even the latest story of Paul Pelosi apparently being attacked by a MAGA supporter, which completely fell apart all week, and we'll talk a little bit about that. To a MAGA supporter trying to firebomb a donut shop that hosted a drag queen show, and was make sure they were right in the middle of the camera with their MAGA hat on.
Yeah, the prancing really gave it away.
And it looked like a really heavy firebomb for how they had to shove it like a shot put.
So we got a lot to talk about tonight. So we're glad that you guys are here tonight joining us. Let's go ahead and dive into it. You have that story pulled up right here, PJ.
We're talking about
as
the
you're pulling that
one?
up, PJ, if you are watching this now live, make sure you like the stream, comment on the chat wherever you're watching, share a link on your favorite Gab, Getter, Truth Social, Twitter, you name it. Help us grow the stream while we're still young in the night.
Yeah, let me grab this real quick. This is how the country feels about the current administration. Biden was over in Illinois here today, Saturday. I keep thinking today's Sunday. I don't know why my days are so mixed up already. I think PJ or Tom were talking about that today.
We've all
You're
been
just excited about
yeah.
Election Day coming up.
I am. Yeah. I'm very excited. He gets angry. He says, "Give me a break. What idiots." Joe Biden lashes out. Trump supporters trolling him with anti-Biden signs in, of all places, Illinois. So check this out. Here we go. Let me go ahead. Right there. That's what set him off right there.
He doesn't like the pig Latin, I guess.
No, I guess not. So here he is, and he starts angrily
I love those
yelling.
signs when I came in. Socialism. Just give me a break. What idiots. Socialism.
Now, he's never looked more like the dummy from Jeff Dunham. When you go back to that other clip, when he's making that angry face, he's never looked more like the old man.
I was going to say, from that angle, I wanted to see if you could actually see Jeff Dunham with his hand up Joe Biden's
No,
posterior.
That's Xi Jinping with his hand up.
Oh, that's who it is. Yeah.
I'm originally from Illinois. I hope those were some of my Republican family members that are still there, out there with those signs. I really hope so.
With his late stage dementia, I'm surprised he wasn't just chanting along "Let's go, Brandon" with everybody else.
Well,
he was commenting that they're idiots because it's not socialism; it's communism.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what
it
it
right.
is. Yeah.
Get it right, PJ. Yeah. So
how do they get away with constantly pushing for every socialist ideal and socialist medicine, and then go, well, socialism? Socialism? What are you talking about? Socialism? We just want to implement all of the policies of socialism.
Well, it's funny. They say, "Give me a break." It's like, well, yeah, they ask to give me everything. Of course, they want a break too.
Socialists.
Oh goodness, yeah. So it's as you can tell, it's going very well for Democrats right now in many states, including Pennsylvania, where I think you called him Shrek. Did you call him Shrek the other day?
He's the first ogre to become a nominee for Senate. and he may just pull it off with a big enough steal. If they can get enough fake ballots out of the swamp, Shrek may indeed become Pennsylvania's first ogre senator.
Well, speaking of ogre, here he is. This is today in Pennsylvania. Apparently, it's a windy day there, or maybe God's just sending a sign. Keep your eyes on the American flags as Fetterman struggles to speak.
I'm running to serve Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
He's running to be serve. Is that what he said during his debate?
As all the American flags disappear from behind him,
Not a good sign.
Yeah, what a bad look.
If you extend the clip out a little bit, you'll see the hammer and sickle rising up behind him.
They get the effects from Biden's ultra MAGA speech that he made with the red background.
I thought you were going to tell me that they were actually pulled down and the wind was blowing the other way.
Yeah, so that's how it's going for Democrats right now over on the campaign stops, if you were wondering how that was looking.
Well, no, Fetterman's got worse things going on for him lately. At least not lately or not recently, but things that have resurfaced. Did you want to watch that ad?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Pull that up.
All right, watch this. If you've not seen it at home, folks, then you ought to look at this. From Kyle Martinson on Twitter, he says, "What on earth?" This is what he said. "What on earth is this Fetterman ad?" And then you'll see, I hope, what this Fetterman ad is. Now, you'll know it's reminiscent of, it's supposed to be reminiscent of the iconic Mean Joe Green commercial, a shot-for-shot remake of it. It's not going to be anything else other than an embarrassment for John Fetterman. That's my thought. Here you go.
Mr. Fetterman. Mr. Fetterman,
Yeah,
you need any help?
I'm running for the U.S. Senate, kid. I need all the help I can get.
You're running for Senate?
Sure.
Where's your suit and your flag pin and your hair?
Oh, hey, kid.
I just want you to know I'd vote for you.
Hey, thanks, kid.
You want a drink?
Nah, no.
Really, you can have it.
Okay.
It's adrenochrome.
See you around.
Hey, kid. Catch.
Wow! Thanks, Mayor John.
Now, I want to highlight before we get to the very end of this, because there is more to it. So far, they've done a really great job of hiding that second face that he has on the back of his neck.
Well, that was my first thought on this.
I do have an alternate angle to that. Once you're done with this ad, I'm going to show you the outtake.
I want to show you the end here that they included in this, because if you thought, okay, nothing's more appropriate than including a child as an exploitative, someone who you're going to exploit in your political campaign, then it's also not much less appropriate to tell them this.
What's a jagoff?
I'll tell you when you're older.
In what world would that be something that you'd want to promote as yourself as the Senate candidate sharing as a conversation with a child?
Well, that's par for Democrats recently.
They want to lower the voting age too, so that kid could vote for him.
If he would have put on clown makeup and some fake titties, it would have been totally appropriate for the Democratic Party, though. I gotta say this: like, you don't see the second head on the back of his neck, and that was my first thought watching this. I'm like, how did they make that disappear? And how is he getting through full sentences? This is amazing. And then I realized, oh, this is a 2016 ad.
Yeah,
this
he hasn't had a stroke yet.
This is John Fetterman at his best.
This is when he's not even yelled at people to get out of his swamp yet.
So this is the outtake of that ad. I'll go ahead and play it here for you guys.
Thanks.
You need any help?
They had to take that part out.
There's another that I gotta find from Steven voiceover. If we have a minute, I gotta find this. Because it's absolutely worth watching his cover on that one. Oh my God.
Yeah, poor kid. They had to clean them all off after that in between takes, and they're like, man.
Use that T-shirt to mop that up.
That's the only thing it's good for, really.
Here it is. Let me. Is my screen still up here in the thing? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah, I see your
Yeah,
screen.
it's down
there.
here.
It is.
Yeah, there it is.
Let's go. Oh, but it's the wrong page. Nope. I don't know how to StreamYard. Hold, please.
Oh, goodness.
It's not the same as just grabbing it and pulling it onto the screen like it is on my other. Okay, here we go. Ready? This is Steven voiceover. So, granted, this is a doctored image.
Hey, Mr. Fetterman. Mr. Fetterman,
Yeah,
you need some help?
I'm running for the U.S. Senate, kid. I need all the help I can get.
You got a shotgun, right?
Sure.
You got it on you right now?
Oh, hey, kid.
You want a drink?
Nah, no.
You can have it if you promise not to shoot me.
Okay. Thanks.
See you around.
Well, speaking of brain dead politicians and politicians that have no grip of where they are, this is Joe Biden. This is his closing pitch for voters out there, whether or not trying to make a decision where they're going to vote Democrat, continue to have high gas prices, inflation. Oh, by the way, that's a great clip that we're going to cover tonight with Joy Reid talking about how inflation's a new word that Republicans have entered into the lexicon of normal people out there. Kid you not. So we'll get to that here in a bit. But let's go ahead and listen to the potato in chief here.
So it's going to become a wind generation. And all they're doing is you're going to save them a hell of a lot of money and using the same transmission line that transmitted the coal-fired electric on. We're going to be shutting these plants down all across America and having wind and solar.
So there you go. We're going to shut down all the coal plants, and we're going to power your electric cars with solar and wind.
That's a lot of hot air from Joe Biden.
Farts too, yeah. These people love the electric cars, and they don't realize that these electric cars are not powered on renewable resources. They're powered on coal. So when you're driving an electric car, you're driving a coal-powered car with just extra steps.
Yeah, and you
just
can't
going steampunk with a lot of, in between.
You can't go on road trips.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they're taking down all the monuments nationally. So what are you going to see if you take a road trip now?
Did you guys hear what Joe Biden said this week about how we need to increase oil refinery production and things like that because of the diesel shortage? He's the one who shut them down.
Doesn't it require diesel to truck your gas around?
Unless you have a pipeline. That was
even with the pipeline, like to get your gasoline to your gas station on the corner, they have a diesel truck.
Yes.
So if we're running out of diesel, it doesn't matter if you have gas, you won't be able to get it.
Right. Well, you can't get anything. That's how everything, they say it only takes about 3 days of the trucks shutting down in this country for everything to go out. All of your food, milk, eggs, all that stuff that's perishable, everything on the grocery store shelf. It's all gone in 3 days because trucks have to run every single day to restock.
If I'm doing my math correctly, then we shouldn't have even shut down for 2 weeks. We should have just shut down for 3 days, and then everyone would have been at the reset point. We could have just said, okay, enough of this.
Well, yeah, when we shut down, we had remember the essential workers, because your job's not essential. Your paycheck, you're paying your mortgage, you're taking care of your kids. That's not essential. The truck drivers' jobs were essential.
It is interesting in Alberta and in Canada at large. Like they recoiled, and then the government took a couple steps back when the truckers revolted, but it wasn't until then. So I wonder, if that really is the key to it. Like stopping all logistics would be to stop their effort as well as ours. Maybe that's the right. I don't know.
I mean, it would shut down the whole country. That's why when Canada was being effective, that's when it pissed off the government the most, and that's why our truck driving thing here around DC was a joke. Like a couple truck drivers driving around circles in DC,
They did it in Brazil, in their last week after their elections, they shut down the highways as a means of protest, including with the police's help, by the way.
Yeah.
Very true.
Crazy.
Speaking of the inflation, you guys know that's a made-up term, right? It's not real. I heard it on MSNBC from Joy Reid.
That's how you know it. Yeah, that's how you know
She's
it's a reliable
very
source.
believable.
Very
Yeah.
believable. Very
Yeah,
very
inflation is
reliable.
fake, but her hair is real.
That looks like a little bit of appropriation, doesn't it?
That looks like you last week, Frank.
That looks like appropriating Aaron Carter, and that's super offensive right now.
That is very
Especially
super
today.
offensive.
That's really insensitive.
Yeah, that's
that
really
that might
insensitive.
be racist too.
I believe so.
Well, classic racism.
Let's take a listen.
The only people I ever hear use the word inflation are journalists and economists, right? So that is not part of the normal lexicon of the way people talk. So it's interesting that Republicans are doing something they don't normally do, right? Which is not use the common tongue, right? Not use just common English to sort of do on their campaigns like they're doing with crime. But what they've done is they've taught people the word inflation, right?
Yeah.
Most people who would have never used that word ever in their lives are using it now because they've been taught it, including on TV, including in newspapers. They've been taught this word, and they sort of wrap this word around whatever it is that they really want to vote. The reasons.
Well, I remember talking about inflation back in 2008.
I was gonna say, I remember inflation being a real big thing when there was the housing crash.
No, this is a Mandela effect for you guys. You guys only remember the economy being blown up. Like a balloon gets blown up, not inflated. Inflation is a new term.
She just learned that word, and she thinks everyone just learned that word.
That's
She's
what
like,
it is.
no
She's
one's
like, hey,
ever
did you guys
used
hear?
this with me before.
Yeah.
It's a brand new word. My God.
Joy Reid is sick of people asking on Twitter what about inflation because she has to keep asking her producers.
It's like when my kid learns cumulonimbus cloud for the first time. They're just trying to like casually slide that into conversation. I got an 8-year-old like, oh yeah, you see that cumulonimbus up there? I'm probably saying that word wrong.
Yeah, it's a stratus. So thank you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. But every cloud is like whatever word that they just learned. Apparently, inflation is I'm sure the next argument is it's a racist term. So that's where Joy Reid's going to go with this.
Okay, I think Katie's exactly right. It's like she just learned this term, so now she's seeing it everywhere. Like when you get a car, now all of a sudden you see a bunch of other people driving the same car you just got. If you just learned about a thing, now you see it everywhere. Joy Reid just learned about inflation as a term, and so now she's complaining that she's seeing it everywhere.
Yeah, there
She
you
got
go.
the word a
Inflation
day
is rooted.
calendar.
It's rooted into KKK. Inflation is. I didn't know if you guys do that or not.
Yeah. Republicans teaching people words bad. I mean, this literally is the Democratic platform, though, is to say, hey, this is a word you're not supposed to know it. You're not supposed to teach it. Let's make it so we can't even use this word in a proper sentence in proper English, because then if the word doesn't exist, we have no way to describe the problem, and therefore the problem doesn't exist. It's the ostrich theory. Just stick your head in the
That's
sand.
the whole word retarded. That's why they did that, because they didn't want you to be able to call their policies retarded. If you were to look at some of the things that they are pushing for today and called it what it is, which is retarded, people would have to say, oh, wow, you're right. That is working backwards and slowing us down and is completely backwards and ineffective and wrong. But because you can't say certain things, you can't use insulting language. Now you can't call their policies what they are. You have to tiptoe around and say, you just don't agree, or you have a difference of opinion, or your truth is different. Like, no, some people are just dumber than others, and we could highlight that.
Well, just think. Sorry, go ahead, Frank.
Tom, I just want to show you, highlight one of the pieces.
And I'm one of them, for the record. I'm one of the dumber ones.
Where she talked about how Republicans don't speak the common tongue. We don't, Republicans don't speak the normal language of people.
Is there
like
an Ebonics word for inflation that she wants us to use?
Democrats like John Fetterman speak just like the normal people. Let's take a listen to what a normal person sounds like to Democrats.
The summer of 1986, I think everyone that ever plays football in high school was, at a kind of like a trade out kind of football camp, and there wasn't any interest to have me come play here.
That's what it sounds like, common tongue.
Well, that's
I
what it
was
sounds
really
like
trying.
when you speak with the vocabulary the Democrats want you to have. That's what you sound like.
Yeah, I know I'm blonde, but I was really trying to understand him, and I just couldn't. I didn't understand what he was talking about.
Football camp in 1986?
No.
Yeah, obviously he was saying he was not looked at any training camps because even though he played in high school, he was not that good.
You got way more out of that sentence than I did.
Glad we have an interpreter.
Yeah,
I speak retarded. I'm trying to tell you, I speak retarded.
So that's the common tongue. That's what Democrats think you speak like when you're out there in public. That's how you talk. Football and the camp and.
If their best argument against Republicans, we have a larger vocabulary, and therefore, because we have a larger vocabulary, we recognize the issues and the problems, and then vote accordingly. I mean, I agree. Like, is that your best defense there? Fake Black Aaron Carter? I don't know.
Yeah, that's like you say. Well, thanks for the pro. Now let's name a con.
Play clip of John Fetterman. This is the vocabulary they want you to have in order to go into the voting booth.
Did you guys see the headline? I think it was either the New York Times or the Washington Post, but it was one of the failing leaders of the news, where they said the election for Fetterman is now more about the Senate. It's about ableism, and that we can really have a teaching moment here for the country if we just, without looking at why or who or what, we just go ahead and elect the disabled man for the sake of having a disabled senator. That was actually their whole point, because they know his policies suck. They actually said, just hold your nose and vote for him, because why not have a novelty of someone who can't think in the Senate?
Don't you love that they use words?
They have to replace Biden. I mean,
I thought Feinstein was the one who they were replacing.
Don't you love how they use words in a way where it's like, if we put it at this point in the sentence and put scare quotes around it, we can make any word sound evil and bad. And then you read the word like, ooh, I don't want to be that thing. I don't want to be ableist. That sounds really bad to want people to be qualified for a job that we might elect them for, for people to actually meet certain qualifications physically and mentally for the things that they have to do in the workplace. That sounds bad.
That's a headline for the Babylon Bee, and it will be a headline in real life in 5 years of Republicans evil for wanting qualified candidates. And then the next 5 years, they'll actually say like the use of the word qualified is a what are they going to say? A microaggression?
Yeah,
I guarantee you that's probably already been claimed.
It's already been claimed. They'll have the headline that's ableist for the military to want people with legs.
Yeah, imagine wanting somebody who can actually perform the job to get the job.
Well, I mean, we see who we have. I mean, go ahead.
Do you guys think that Fetterman is just a way to make Biden look better?
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, get someone who's so like egregiously bad at public speaking and so completely, actually, literally brain dead that people are looking at Biden going, "Oh, true international pressure. It's not that bad. It's not that bad." His son died in Iraq and 5 other ways. Who cares?
Died from oil cancer.
Cancer and ass cancer.
I don't know who Fetterman's parents are connected to, but I'd wonder who they have been working with or who his grandparents are and who they worked with. Because John Fetterman strikes me as the guy who has been groomed for politics and a position in power, even though he has no aspirations or know-how. Like his family might know someone wealthy or to-do, but they themselves are not powerful. Like you said, Joe Biden, his son, that this would make sense. But a Fetterman kind of comes out of nowhere and you wonder why. I think that might be why, because there's more to the story that we don't know.
He comes from really rich parents.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my point.
I'm sure they're connected. Yeah. Yep.
So like Peter Meyer here in my district, he doesn't just decide, hey, with all my millions, instead of doing more outreach and doing more work in Africa, I'm going to come home and run for Congress for no reason other than to do what? Impeach Trump and then help all the corporatists.
That's it.
The thing that bothers me about Fetterman the most is not that he's retarded. It's that he's trying to let criminals out of prison. And
because he's retarded.
because he's retarded. And he doesn't understand, like, if you let felons back out on the street, it's not going to be a good time for your average voter. So
he was bragging about
he brags about it.
He's bragging about letting murderers out specifically.
Who went on and murdered again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have this clip here.
He doesn't like a quitter.
This is from Washington. Joe Kent's running for a Congress seat out there against
good for him
leftist lunatic over here. And this is how the Democrat Party views having to answer questions from the public. This is a public event where normal Joes are asking questions and wanting answers. And this is how they were treated from the Democrat perspective. Let's take
who's the guy on the left?
Joe Kent.
Is that Steven Crowder?
No,
I gotta say, before you play this, I've heard that if you watch this clip without sound, it's just as great. So just watch the guy's face.
Take a listen.
Do you support biological males competing in biological female sports? I think that is it's complicated. It depends. When do they transition? What are their hormone levels? I mean, when you really look at athletes have all different natural hormone levels. So it is a nuanced question.
And yet it's not.
You do support that? It depends on the scenario. But we're faced with situations where it's either a yes or no. Either the biological male competes or the biological male does not compete with women. And so we have to make that decision. Yeah, I don't think you're understanding the nuance of these issues.
Look at the body language. She's literally squirming in her hot seat. She's actually sitting there going, how can I get up and move and shift and get out of this seat? I'm so uncomfortable. That looks like she wants to die right there on stage if she could.
What I love about this is I can't tell if the crowd is for or against the trans issue because they just want her to answer the question.
Yeah.
Like it might be both people in the crowd are cheering. Yeah, you know what I mean? They're like, we just want an answer. Either side, like you're squirming and both sides are recognizing that she's just squirming and not answering the question. Her job is to make policy, as they pointed out. So it's not, well, it's nuanced. So I don't really have to. Your job is going to be to implement a policy, whether or not men can compete in women's sports. There's no nuance at that point. There's no nuance at that level. That's your job. Your job isn't to sit here and debate the minutia and just give an answer.
Well, she said we need to look at it, and I'm assuming they mean the genitalia.
Go.
I'm leaving you speechless tonight. What's going on here, guys?
I think she wanted to say no, but she knew that was not the correct answer. That she's
just like a lot of girls in college.
Yeah.
Speaking of the wrong answers, recently there was an article that was written up about COVID amnesty, and that hit the airwaves, and the media and these politicians and the medical community, and I'm sure maybe some of your friends on Facebook all now want COVID amnesty and forgiveness for being complete tyrants and a-holes to you as you were given the same set of facts and were able to come to a reasonable conclusion versus what they wanted. And I had this video I wanted to play real quick. This is a different one that we
Is it
played.
Scott Adams?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is great. Let's take a listen to this one, then we'll react to it and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, it turns out that this was all a lie. Yep. I was really just kind of hoping we could put all this behind us and move on. Is that an apology? Because it doesn't really sound like one. I know that I called you a grandma killer, but I really just wanted what was best for you. I actually couldn't visit my grandma in the hospital or even attend her funeral, but my heart was in the right place. I also lost my business and my job. I had good intentions, and my kids' social, mental, and physical development was also hurt. Listen, we just didn't know. I knew, lots of people knew, but you refused to listen. Instead, you called us names and wished death upon us. Let's just call a truce, okay? But according to your hat, you care about social justice. What does that have to do with anything? Why don't you care about justice here? I don't hear you demanding apologies or reparations, because that would have to come from me, and we just need to move on. So you don't believe in accountability for systemic injustices when you're the one guilty. Can't we just build back and move forward? And I want to build back a system that allowed this to occur. Don't you want peace? I found this sign on the ground. Maybe you recognize it.
You notice how they use the word amnesty on purpose? They're not saying forgiveness. They're not saying we apologize. They want amnesty. They want to have no consequences for their actions without having to say we were wrong, you were right, we're sorry. We had all the same data at the same time, and you guys somehow came to the right conclusion because you actually read the study in 2014 that said that masks don't work, and you actually paid attention to the facts.
Meanwhile,
there's a reason
they're
they're using the word amnesty.
dead.
Yeah,
and amnesty kind of suggests or insinuates that they've done nothing wrong and that they are innocent and that we are forgiving them even though they're being persecuted in some way. We're giving them refuge from some false persecution, where in reality, any criticism they're getting, they probably are due and more.
I'm okay with amnesty if amnesty is a synonym for tribunal.
I'm hearing that instead of amnesty, they want to see hammers, but I don't know what that means.
Paul Pelosi calls for hammers quite often.
On a secret line, he got a number from a number from a gym where Adam Schiff actually goes as well. So
I thought he got it from a trucker.
He got the number
stall.
of a guy named Jim.
Said call for a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Adam Schiff said that he knew a guy that swings good hammer, and he was like, "I don't need any." Oh, I see, drywall. No, it's different.
Yeah, zero amnesty, 100% accountability. And I think that needs to be continued to focus moving forward. We cannot allow this to be swept under the rug to where these people in the medical fields, institutions, people in the media, politicians, and anybody else who push this type of stuff on the public should ever escape any kind of accountability. There needs to be accountability.
The New York Times was suggesting that we continue to hunt down anyone who was related to the Nazi regime as late as 2017. They were still pushing that in the United States, we still have people that are linked to the spoils of war for the Nazis, and that we should be still trying to find it was like there was an argument for reparations, essentially, but not from the black perspective, but from the Jewish one, into the New York Times in 2017. I don't know why that they're all of a sudden now saying we don't need to ever look at anyone's past history from the last 5 or 6 months, let alone 2 years, but your tweets from 11 years ago still matter, and reparations are still needed. But again, what we did a year ago, not important. I mean, they're completely, I guess, inconsistent.
This is one of the few cases where reparations would actually make sense, because we're constantly talking about reparations for slavery, where no one who perpetrated it or had it perpetrated on them is alive in America today. So there's no immediate, reparation. You can't give reparations to somebody who's not alive. Yet we have people today who have their businesses lost, had their jobs stolen from them, were unable to go to their grandparents' funerals. All of these terrible things that happened to them. People had to, felt like they were forced to take a jab to keep their job, and now people are dropping dead everywhere. Where's the reparations?
They don't call for the justice when it's due for the people that could receive it still, and then they will not call for, or they do call for justice for people that maybe can't receive it or are not otherwise due to give it. Like, I can't apologize for racism and slavery because I'm not a racist slave owner, but they would all the same want me to pay more in my taxes if it meant that reparations could be passed on to black people who also were not slaves and have not been, subjected to anything that I've said.
So social carries a lot of weight in the term social justice, because justice carries zero weight. There's no justice in social justice. They're not interested in actual justice. So social is put in front of that word to say not justice. That's like the whole thing of it. They wouldn't put that there if they were. Yeah, they're qualifying it by making it the opposite.
Katie, what was it like owning slaves? Tell us.
Yes.
Well, I would like to apologize for my racism. I'll pay reparations for it. Can I keep doing it?
It's
like you get a monthly charge. It's like a Netflix charge.
Yeah,
it's $8 a month. Elon already told you it's $8 a month to be racist.
Yeah,
great.
Cool story, bro. $8.
$8. We'll use this all the time.
That's hilarious. Just replying to someone with an $8 is going to be a meme real soon.
It already is.
It already is. That's why I've been doing it all day today, replying to the. That'll be $8.
Don't like it? $8.
Yeah. Speaking of black people.
Speaking of black people.
Thank you.
Waffle Salter. Thank you for the super chat.
I was getting a little thirsty.
It's hard to have a true crime channel without being a little racist. There's a lot of crime going on. That's all I'm saying.
Don't get into the demographics. That's all I got to say. You're not allowed to talk about that.
Hey, so Katie, from your perspective on the whole true crime look at it, if you were going to look at the Pelosi home invasion attack story as a true crime story to cover on a pod, if it were not a Pelosi, if it were just any other house and a story that you could have all the details on, what would that look like to you?
It wouldn't be a story, and the guy would be out on bail immediately because he's in San Francisco.
Well, I guess would you believe with the claims that they've made in terms of the guy?
No.
You were talking about reality. Reality is
No. This guy was invited in, obviously. And from what I understand, somebody had let the cops in as well. So it wasn't like Pelosi was being held hostage or anything, or the guy let the cops in. Nobody knows.
The story has changed a few different times. I know NBC had a report which they've already pulled down because it didn't meet their journalistic standards, who means Democrat narrative, is that that Paul Pelosi opened the door for the police and then decided to go back to the guy who was holding the hammer, or I guess Pelosi was holding the hammer too. Both of them were holding hammers. I have no idea. But the prosecutors are refusing to release any of the surveillance footage or the body cam footage that would actually put all of this to rest and put to rest any of these conspiracy theories.
Well,
right?
apparently it wouldn't put it to rest. It would extend it. According to the Washington Post, release the video is mostly a way to extend the conspiracy theory. And by extend, they mean find out the truth.
Well, once this thing goes to trial, all of that should become public record. It should.
If it goes to trial.
I was going to say, if it
Although
goes
the
to
body
trial.
cam for the DUI arrest has not become public record, so who knows what's going on.
The guy wasn't released on bail because they got to make sure the cameras malfunction and
For the
Hillary Clinton takes it.
Yeah.
The story was
Epstein
supposedly
effects.
that when the San Francisco Police Department was called, Paul Pelosi said, send the Capitol Police people who actually answer to Nancy and not the regular police. But it was still the regular police who showed up. So when he answered the door, he opened the door and then walked back into his house, into the foyer, continuing on towards the person they later claimed was the attacker. They said at the time, Paul was holding the hammer and he was not yet attacked. So you almost wonder if Paul and his buddy realized, hey, the normal cops are here. They're not going to cover for us in the normal way. You got to make it look like this was an attack. And so here's this hammer. Hit me with it, when instead maybe that was part of a toy. Like, I'm not saying they in the last minute scramble to make it look like something it wasn't, because it clearly wasn't done very well.
And I have a question about that as well. With a serious head injury, as they said it is, a skull fracture at his age, you don't come back from the hospital just a week later.
Usually
Well,
not.
Katie Zed and I have actually covered a ongoing true crime case about a guy who pretended to get shot in the head, and it was entirely fake.
Yeah.
Because he was a politician and he was able to pretend to be shot in the head and then went to the hospital. And then it turns out none of that was true at all. And the hospital covered for him as well as the police and everybody else. So I'm just saying the precedent exists. That kind of thing has happened in the last 2 years with a politician.
Paul Pelosi eating pudding there in the hospital, just waiting for Nancy to come by.
Was it Gabby Gifford?
No, it was the Murdaugh
No, I'm
case.
kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Gabby Gifford.
I think probably what happened is the guy was holding a hammer and Paul Pelosi just like ran into the hammer. Like he ran into my hammer. That's what happened.
Or it was like it was dark and he thought it was something else shaped like that.
Oh.
Spicy, Tom. Spicy. Well, speaking of true crime and things like that, mainstream media ran an article here recently. Just recently, and this lady got like ratioed over on her Twitter account. This is Rachel Monroe, and she would like to tell you out there in the normal people's area. I wrote about the chaotic world of amateur predator hunter stings on YouTube, which combine many of the internet's worst trends: stunts for clout and vigilante justice and groomer panic. Well, I will agree with one thing. It does involve combine many of the internet's worst things, like pedophiles. That does it. Where's the outrages? Instead of put on the actual assailant, like the pedophile, it's put on the person trying to capture the pedophile.
They're mad about the fear porn and not the child porn.
The entire headline, exactly. The whole headline is there for 2 words. The entire thing is there to disguise groomer panic and put that into your lexicon, to put that into your mind. Groomer panic. Now it's the satanic panic, it's the Red Scare, it's the groomer panic now. It's those things that actually existed when the communists stole the nuclear codes and gave them to Russia, and when there was actually satanic killings going on and cattle mutilation was a big problem in the 80s. Satanic panic. Now it's a groomer panic. We're going to put that in your lexicon, and now we can just write off anytime anybody says anything about this groomer panic.
And let me tell you what, I've watched a lot of these channels of the how to catch a predator type of channels where they go after, and they're very thorough individuals who put together these captures or these confrontations, what they turn out to be, and then they give all the evidence over to the police to go ahead and follow up with all of the other things, and they've led to many arrests of these individuals and getting them off the street, which is a good thing. And now all of a sudden it's a bad thing because, of course, as many people might not know, the FBI has shut down that division to focus on catching meemaws who walk to the Capitol and not actually hunting for predators online.
Well, because if they did hunt for predators online, it'd be the Spider-Man meme. They'll be pointing at each other again.
Exactly.
They'd keep running into Hunter Biden's other laptops.
That's what I was about to say.
I like this from Ocean Breathe Salty. He says, there's a pedo in the White House. Pedos run most everything. The demon families that run the planet, all pedos or pedo-friendly. And I think the second part is maybe the most important part to remember, because not all of these people are going to be the ones doing it, but are the ones who are covering for it, enabling it, and profiting from doing the first two.
This is exactly why Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail for selling children to nobody.
Yeah, well, it also makes me think of Chris Hansen. It's like Chris Hansen is part of the establishment, so he's allowed. He's got the targets that are allowed for him to go after, And then these online people, these terrible clout chasing people that we're told to be afraid of, the part of the groomer panic, they're not as controlled by NBC or whoever Chris Hansen works for. So we can't control who they're going after.
Well, this is why there's such a clampdown on places like YouTube and other online speech, because we don't answer to anybody. There's no handlers that handle Let's Be Frank or PJ from More Type of Propaganda, or Tom from America Floats, or even Katie Zed, who does her crime show name.
Have I not told you about my handler? Have you guys not met Tyrone?
Well, and you notice
my handler is a Canadian fitness instructor, oddly enough. Sorry, different story.
If you notice, Chris Hansen hasn't done that series on Dateline for a very long time, and it's almost as if a few years back they decided to shut it down, and he's not allowed to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, because he kept running into his old buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hunter showed up at one of them. He's like, "Oh crap!"
He's like, "Hi, I'm Chris Hansen." They're like, "Oh yeah, I know. We just hung out like 2 nights ago. We remember with all those kids." And he's like, "Oh wait."
That is
I've
what
always
happened.
thought Chris Hansen's a little creepy and weird.
That's why it got shut down. There was a judge or somebody high up local politically that Chris Hansen got into one of his traps, who ended up committing suicide because he fell into one of these traps, and that's why the show got shut down.
Well,
so he actually accomplished something really good with his work, and he shut it down right after that.
Shut it down immediately.
Don't
it was too effective.
Don't be a creep and go onto these online things and try to snag yourself a 14-year-old girl on the internet. Don't do that.
Unfortunately, it's usually 14-year-old boys.
Yeah. And that's how a lot of these internet sleuths actually catch these guys. They catch them on places like on Discord, where they put a little profile picture of some girl or an anime picture, and they bring them in, and they let them they keep giving them rope, and that person hangs himself by showing up to the place wherever they're going to meet.
That's one of those things about the Epstein story that I feel like we know so little about. Like, as far as it being covered up and things about Ghislaine Maxwell and the Black Book not being known, the thing that's always stuck out to me is Netflix makes a documentary, Hulu makes a documentary, and they've obviously got their spin. It's very obvious if you watch it. But the one thing we're never told about is we're only told about the victims who are about 16 to 17-year-old girls.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really believe that all these people, like, that was their interest, was just like a year or two shy of being legal?
Did you remember? I should be asking, did you forget? That? It was like 18 months ago. The headline was, "Judge in the Ghislaine Maxwell case rules some details too salacious for the public to review." And those are still withheld. And I'm guessing those details are ages, genders, and acts, because they're not all 16.
Including the satanic temple they had, very visible from the drones on the island.
Right. And kids who were like wearing little tunics and little like diaper things of cloth, running around getting water bowls on these weird videos that were found. And these little ritual things that you don't really know are they say at CERN again, oh, just pretend, but
just pretend.
How much of that's pretend?
One of the things I noticed about the CERN Gothard Tunnel thing was, Abby pointed this out, so I want to give her some credit for this. They say that there was somewhere between 600 and 700 people involved in the ritual. Not a specific number, just somewhere between 600 and 700.
Maybe like 2/3 of the way through.
Maybe like 2/3 of the way through, potentially. It was, let's go with that.
But never quite coming to a round number, maybe.
Yeah. So interesting stuff.
Very interesting stuff, and things continue to. Well, we know we have. Before we go into our next story, I just want to remind everybody: you guys can make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, that share button. If you have not done so already, you can follow us at our various different links over here. Let me put it up on the channel.
Frank, you just read my mind.
I did. There we go. Yeah, you can like and subscribe to all of us, and you follow all of our links at solo.to/Last American Pubcast. You can find all of the hosts on here. And, of course, you can check out Katie Zed on her own channel. What is it called?
Katie Zed.
Oh, okay.
Katie Zed. The crime show is called Overruled. I'm actually dropping that in the chat right now for people.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the show, I do a show every other Sunday on YouTube called Overruled. And the off Sundays, I'm going to try to do a short show with just little tidbits of crime stories, because the ones that at the Overruled show, I do deep dives and it's a lot of research. So I can't do them as often as I'd like to.
Yeah, and also you can follow us over on our official Twitter account for the Last American Pubcast at Last American Pubcast _USA Pubcast. So hopefully you guys will go follow us over there and tell a friend, tell a family member, share it over on some of the boomer places such as Facebook. And maybe we'll get some traction somewhere else over there.
I want to point this out real quick, too, is we actually have our first meme of the night from Waffle Salter. We actually posted this before we went live, but we got getting ready for the midterms, and it's people raising Nancy's eyebrows up there on stilts.
We also have one more. Somebody, where is it? I just saw it. Here it is. This is from Real Truth Cactus. She just shared this one here. Let me add it there.
What service? Look at that.
Yeah, I know. She's got a handler over there, and his name is Mr. Zed.
She got an in-person super chat and 2 beers.
Yes, so we have to drink.
Yeah, so this one's from Real Truth Cactus. She'll be with us on Tuesday as well. It says corporate needs to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
They're the same person.
Awesome.
Yeah, the difference, like Tom pointed out, is actually cropped off. It's that one of them has Jeff Dunham with his hand up, and then the other one has Xi Jinping. So that's the difference.
Walter, that's his name. I was trying to think of what his name was. Walter.
Yeah,
Walter. Yeah. Not the cool Walter, like Walter White.
Oh,
Frank's
yeah,
hero,
that meth maker. Haha, he was so cool.
Hey, if he was a real person, Kim Kardashian would have got him out of prison by now. So
For real.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
So this was from Sansoon. I just wanted to remind everybody, if 2 grown men are found in their underwear fighting over a hammer at 2 a.m., they're 100% gay.
The Art of Gay. You see that? Sun Tzu, The Art of Gay.
Sun Tzu, The Art of Gay.
Just
yeah, like when 2 men unsheath their swords, no one is victorious.
Takes on a different connotation, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Let me grab this one here. Oh, yes. Yeah. Speaking of Democrats. So this happened over on MSNBC earlier today.
Oh, how great of a clip was that, Frank? How fulfilling was this to see someone actually call them out, and it was on this network of all places?
I know. It was great. So let's take a listen.
But I'm going to interrupt you then. Here's the problem. We don't feel safe. You might be working closely with Mayor Adams. You may have spent a whole lot of money, but I walk into my pharmacy and everything is on lockdown because of shoplifters. I'm not going in the subway. People don't feel safe in this town. So you may have done these things, but right now we're not feeling good. We're worried we could be San Francisco. But I'm going to interrupt you then.
That's a legitimate worry for anyone.
It is.
Yeah. Which one's eyebrows are going to reach the moon first? Hers or Nancy Pelosi's?
It's going to be a tight race.
Yeah.
We're off loud. Drink
I like salt.
and nicotine. Thank you so much.
Sorry, go ahead, Frank.
No, I would say, what is it with these women Democrat governors?
And their eyebrows.
No idea. It's a thing.
I mean, Lori Lightfoot, she doesn't have that great a hair either. I wonder if it's something about being evil just makes your looks go.
I mean, they all have the Cruella DeVille eyebrows. So maybe
and like you look at all the past presidents where it's like before office and after. Then they go, look at how stressful a job it is to be catered to and pampered on every day. And now it's like the one person who doesn't look weathered is Donald Trump. And then you look at all these other people and you kind of wonder, like, maybe it's not that they're so stressed out, but it's that being so evil and watching your back all the time stresses a person out.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Well, speaking of women governors and women governors who are running for governor, I got this video here and I've watched it. No, I've watched it. Now you guys got to watch it with me.
Oh, gosh. I know this one.
Here we go. I'm going to turn the sound off because it's some music. Anyway, let's think. Text woman who just wants rights.
Just no.
Why?
I had a poll that long ago that asked who was the worst gay politician. It was it Beto or was it Pete Buttigieg? And I think everybody voted for Beto.
Do you think Beto's gay? I think he's into underage girls.
I don't know.
You don't think he fights over hammers at 2 a.m.?
I think he's into the nails. I think he wants to be the nail. I think, well, maybe he is that, but no, I thought that, look at that girl in that video clearly looks like a minor. It looks like a freshman in high school.
And he looks way too excited.
And he looks like he's trying to seduce her. That was like a hip thrusting, look at what the outline in my pants could be kind of dance.
Oh,
and I don't think he should be doing that to someone who looks so young.
No,
this is a girl who just wants healthcare, not or just her rights, not like an of age woman who just wants her rights.
Yeah, remember when it used to be a scandal when someone would eat like a hot dog in public and they'd have a picture taken of them, and now it's like, I'm gonna do a seductive dance in front of a 14-year-old and give her this weird stink eye thing, and just like, that's cool.
It used to be a faux pas if they ate a hot dog, and now you'll hear the former governor say, "Come on, I want you to eat a sausage."
Well, since we have so bad women people running in governor positions, and we have two guys here from Michigan. This is their governor right now.
God.
Yeah. Should I don't know.
Now, there should be a meme before you play this. There should be a meme where someone draws into this and then removes the background, so it looks like she's. Well, maybe not. I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
So this is the wonderful lady running for governor here in my state.
I hit play.
Hey, so you bet.
Oh, there's the actual music in this. So.
Well, you can just turn it down. We don't have to turn it off.
Okay, I'll turn it down.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine if it's down. It's only 18 seconds long.
Hey, so you bet.
There you go.
I'm a savage. Yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet. Yeah.
Appropriation.
Sassy, moody, nasty. Yeah. Acting stupid. What's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage. Yeah.
This is what she was doing when she was denying you to be able to buy seeds during the lockdowns in 2020, by the way.
Can we all just agree that it's time to repeal the 19th Amendment? Seriously. If you see this and you see Stacey Abrams, like, can we just agree it's time?
Or at the very least, can we repeal their access to TikTok? Well, I mean...
I don't want to have to wait in that line anymore either. So let's get on it.
Here's what I don't get. And you think they would actually hire like younger people who understand the social trends and things like that to be like, hey, this is what looks good online. This is what doesn't. Someone has to be close enough to her to be like, look, the boomers are going to hate this because this music is terrible. And honestly, anyone at all is going to hate this music that's not a depraved 20-year-old. And then the other people who are 20 and into the TikTok trends and want to do these terrible dances to awful music, they're going to look at you like you're a granny pretending to be young. Like, oh, I'm hip. I'm cool. Like, nobody likes this. Like,
No.
who's this for?
It's for the TikTokers.
No, but that's what I'm saying is they're making
It's
fun
for
of
the
her and the
TikTarded.
boomers hate it. So like,
they're TikTarded. They're the younger
TikTarded, there we
generation
go.
who are
Retarded.
retarded due to TikTok. They could have been someone, but instead they could have been a contender. But instead they downloaded TikTok. They've become the mind virus themselves. They literally dance it out and act it out, and this is how they interact with people. They don't have a social cue, and then they scroll through their phone, and otherwise they're TikTarded. If they don't see it as a trend, they don't know that it exists.
I'm going to use that phrase from now on. TikTarded. I
Me
love
too.
it.
I'm stealing that for sure.
Stealing that. That's awesome.
I'll
Yeah.
give you
Well,
credit
we're all,
the first
we're all
3
stealing
times.
it. It's from your mom's house.
Oh. Oh. Well,
It's actually commonly in the lexicon, okay? It's actually more so than inflation.
I was going to
Joy
say
Reid
it's
would
more
have you
so than
know.
inflation. Inflation's one of those new words I never heard before.
TikTarded, that's been around.
Speaking of some of the stuff in the culture that's happening here, got Harry Potter news over here. Check it out. I don't know how many people are Potterheads out there. But anyway, this is from Bounty in the Comics. It says Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe throws JK rallying under the bus over her views on the transgender politics. Not everybody in the franchise felt that way. So
what?
he got his fortune for acting in the books that JK wrote, and now he wants to throw JK under the bus.
This is my favorite
Hey, I put my
thing.
glasses on now. I look like Harry Potter. Can I say things for the author of the story as well, or no? Like that's as stupid a claim as anything. Oh, I was an actor in the movie based on the book she wrote, so I have an input on what her thoughts are.
Yeah,
retarded.
This is the funniest thing about the whole Harry Potter stuff is nobody wants to cancel Harry Potter. Like the Harry Potter cult is so strong that they're just like I've always said that the Harry Potter fan base is the most toxic fan base in all of fandom, and
they celebrated Hagrid dying.
Yeah, they're so weird. It's so toxic and it's so weird. It's like they love Harry Potter so much they want to live this lifestyle, go out there and put a broom between their legs and play some shitty version of foosball or whatever out. Or what's
It's so that they'll know what it feels like to have something there.
Not foosball. What's the one called?
Quidditch.
I don't know because I've never read a Harry Potter book or saw a movie.
No, I know what
I'm
Quidditch
not
is.
a
I'm saying
nerd.
I'm and me neither. But like I've never read Harry Potter, but the Quidditch.
I can't take it anymore. I'm just kidding.
No, they don't play Quidditch. Is my point. Quidditch, you have to fly around on a broom
Right,
and catch
yeah.
a golden flying bird. What they're doing is they're putting a broom between their legs and then running around and playing. What's that field hockey sport? That
Yeah,
They're
like
LARPing. They're LARPing as wizards.
Like, what are they playing? Lacrosse or
you
something?
mean
lacrosse. Thank you. They're playing some shitty version of lacrosse with a broom, and they're like, "This is Quidditch, but we're going to rename it to something else because J.K. Rowling said something that hurt our feelings." You wouldn't be running around playing some bad version of, again, I've already forgot the name of it. Lacrosse. If it wasn't for J.K. Rowling. So they love everything she's created so much, but they want to like take it from her, and it's so weird to me.
Yeah.
Oh, you
And
mean
she's
social
just
justice where you
sitting
just want
back-
to destroy things?
She's just
Yeah, they
sitting
wanna
back
just-
and laughing and cashing her
She did.
checks.
She put a tweet out.
It's cultural appropriation is
yeah,
what it is.
She put a tweet out saying something similar to what you just said there, Katie said. She's like, people were like, "How do you sleep at night?" And she's like, "With my royalty checks underneath my pillow."
yeah, exactly. What does she care?
Also, has Daniel Radcliffe done a single thing since Harry Potter that wasn't a flop?
No, he was in. He was in that new movie.
Frank, he said that wasn't a flop.
I know. Weird Al. Have you seen that?
He's been in lots of things.
Oh, that's
Can you
not out
name
yet,
one?
though, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's out. It's on.
The Weird Al
Amazon, I
movie's
think.
out?
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon.
I kind of want to see that, to be
I
honest.
saw a really good cover of a Weird Al
Good
song.
point,
at
Frank.
FaceTime. Just saying.
UHF is still going to be a better movie. I'm just
So lacrosse
throwing
is
that
the
out
best sport. Changed my mind.
It probably is, but running around with a broom and throwing a gold painted volleyball around is not. It's nothing. It's just
Not
stupid.
cool. Not cool.
No, not cool, bro.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely insane. We watched all the movies. It's like kind of our Christmas part of our Christmas holiday during the month of December. We'll watch the Harry Potter movies because they're typically on TV all the time anyway. And we have all of them recorded on DVR, so we watch them. We enjoy them for what they are, but we don't get into how they are with this thing where everyone's flying around on brooms or running around with brooms stuck between their legs.
But
if you see them flying, Frank, run.
Throw them in the water and
find it
see if
funny.
they float.
I do find it funny. The left will cancel anything except Harry Potter. They'll cancel J.K. Rowling apart from it. Now that's the part I'm trying to understand.
But they can't. How did they cancel her when all the creative rights belong to her, or she comes up with all the creative things?
Yeah,
See the amnesty meme where it was the people burning the witch at the stake, and then it says, "If we're wrong, we were both sides did," or
Thank
like
you,
it
Waffle
says.
Culture.
Shit, I'll just have to find it. The two guys are burning a witch at the stake, and then it says, "We have to forgive both sides," and after she's already burnt out because of course she burned because she's a witch. Never mind.
I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
Tom, we got you.
I'll just go find the meme.
Yeah, we got you, Tom.
It's kind of like if she drowns, she wasn't a witch. So
If they
you know
float,
that
she's a
proves that if
witch.
she floats, she's a witch.
If she doesn't, though, she's not. So
Yeah. Then we'll know. Amnesty.
Amnesty.
You know what's funny? Joy Reid didn't point out that nobody uses the word amnesty in their regular lexicon.
Can we throw her into the water to see if she floats?
She's black, so she won't.
These are the same people who are complaining about Harry Potter. I'm going to pull it up. These are the same people that are complaining about Harry Potter.
Oh, gosh.
These people.
Is that Sam Brinton? Is that Biden's nuclear physicist on staff that he's got there?
Does anybody else want that husky to rip their face off?
I did.
I was hoping that it was going to be one of those videos.
That would be social justice for cultural appropriation, I believe.
Too
Yeah.
bad it wasn't a pit bull.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Why couldn't it be a black dude with a pit bull there?
Yeah, speaking of black people.
Pitbull on one and a Rottweiler on the other.
Yeah. Yeah, just like on Grand Theft Auto, I got my
Yeah, there you
Rottweiler as Franklin. That's my favorite character play, by the way.
I imagine it would be Franklin. Yeah.
Him and Lamar is a hoot. The chat doesn't even know what I'm talking about at this point.
Everybody loves Trevor, though.
Yeah, Trevor is fun to play. I do like playing Trevor. His introduction is probably the most amazing introduction to a character ever in video games.
Yeah. Yep, probably.
I have no idea what you're talking about because I'm not a nerd.
I don't know what they're talking about because I'm still looking for that
Kate.
meme.
Kate, strike two. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Did you ever find that meme, Tom?
No, I just said I'm still looking for it. But while I am, hey, it's 8 o'clock. If you haven't already, go share a link to the stream, hit the like button, grab a link in the description below. You can play Link Roulette, grab one of them, and just see where it takes you. And then, of course, help us grow the stream by dropping a link that you just grabbed onto a social media platform of your choosing. I won't tell you which one, Gab, but you should go and choose one of them and then follow the people you see on your screen.
Yeah, and also don't forget, Tuesday's the election night coverage, so 6:30 till at least 11, probably later, we're going to be covering the election results as they come in, and that'll be fun. So if we did it till we had all the results, it'd be a month or two later probably. Did you see they're already pushing the story out there that don't expect election results the same day like we've done every time we've ever had an election in this country, except for 2020. Technology's gotten better, but yet we're really slow at counting. And if you're in Arizona, wait 2 months because it's going to be too close to call.
No, Arizona, you can call 1% comes in. Just ask Fox News.
Yeah, that's right. Call it at 1%, but then count the votes for 2 months.
Yeah. So if you are voting in New York,
I found the link. Wait, before you do that, I found it. Everyone, back off.
Back off.
It's my screen.
Oops, turns out they're not witches after all.
This is what I was referring to. As lame as it is to now stop the show to go back and show you, this is what I was referring to.
That is a good meme, actually.
This is what they're asking for. Hey, sorry, can you forgive us after we've already burnt your business, burnt your job, burnt your reputation, tried to get you fired, tried to get your kid vaccinated against your will, and did all the psychological warfare in doing those things. And then, hey, no apology, just, all right, let's just agree to disagree. I think they got another thing coming.
Yeah,
I think they do. Yeah, so if you're voting in New York, speaking of election night, check out this new crazy I voted for sticker.
Yeah.
A New York County let children design the newest I voted sticker, and the current front runner is an image of a hideous spider-human hybrid.
I kind of like it.
I prefer Peter Parker to this thing.
Didn't you have a better picture of this one up on your screen, PJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to grab
right
that.
there. So
there you go.
Yeah, so this is what happens when you put kids in charge. But I'm still convinced that if you put kids in charge of New York City, it'd probably still be run better.
This is like an artist on crack. Is this a Hunter Biden? Is this an original Hunter?
It looks like a Hunter original. I'm not sure if they meant kids or people who port kids created this.
I'm sure they could funnel some money to him because winning it.
Looks like somebody afflicted with drug addiction created that.
Can I point something out why I don't believe this was actually a kid who designed this? What kid has this kind of signature? Do you guys see this?
Not a
Did
one.
they say it was a child?
Yeah. It does. But I don't believe it.
No.
Well, no.
I feel like this is some kind of crack monster thing with some street artist, and there's his fancy signature right there.
Yeah, it looks like if you put Shel Silverstein on acid.
Yeah.
Which is already kind of on acid.
I feel like I need acid to look at this thing.
It's just a throwback to the art that was created in all those labs that MK Ultra had back in the 1970s and 80s. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, people are actually going to put this on their pins now. They're going to have stickers in New York. Is there a picture of that? Someone had I found it earlier. There's a picture of someone with the sticker because they're actually going to hand these out in New York City when you vote. So,
they're like, I've got a bunch of different I voted stickers. If you'd like one, they have the typical girl with her arms up. You have the American flag. You have the mechanical evil spider. A bunch of different ones that you've all seen. They're like, wait, what?
Go back to the mechanical evil spider. What was that about? Yeah. So these are the ones that it beat, by the way.
It beat the eagle. How did it beat the eagle?
Apparently, mechanical crack monster with crazy colored teeth and bloodshot eyes is the message that New York wants to put out. So
If this is any indication as to how our elections are going to go, we're screwed.
Oh, goodness. Well, check this out. One of the main issues is violent crime, but check out this from this media individual over here. She says, other than murder, violent crime is not up. Did you know that? Violent crime is a key midterm voting issue. But what does that data say? Other than murder.
So what she's saying
is they
that
stopped
violent...
stabbings and started just outright killing.
Yeah, I was going to say, it just means the violent offenders are just becoming more effective.
Yeah, if you could put enough caveats on something, you can get any result you want.
Other than murder,
it's like car accident injuries aren't deaths.
Yeah.
They're different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, other than murder, the thing that's at the peak right now. Other than that, crime isn't that bad.
Other than fentanyl, drug deaths are down as well.
Other than being pushed in front of a moving subway, crime's down relatively to that.
I love it when they try to compare it to the crime statistics in the 90s. It's down from the 90s. Yeah, well, we had horrible crime statistics in the 90s. So, yeah, good.
Well, it's kind of like Joe Biden right now. He's touting that gas prices are down 24%. Let's forget that they went up by 300% prior to that.
Yeah.
Goes up 300%, goes down 24%, victory.
I actually looked at gas mileage when I had to buy a new car recently. The first time ever in my life, I looked at the gas mileage of the vehicle I was buying to buy my car. First time ever.
Yeah, I miss back in the day when I had a truck that got 8 miles a gallon and it didn't matter.
I used to have a Jeep that got about that.
Yeah, I literally did. I had a 1969 F350, and that thing was like, you just watch the needle. Like as the speedometer went up, the gas gauge just went like this. It was kind of just, it was great. But those are things of the past.
So I want to show you guys something. I know our tax dollars are very important to us and what is spent on, right? And, making America great again would be something, be able to invest back into this nation. Other than Zelensky, we just sent them more money. Check it out. We got to send them more money. Definitely after this. Take a look at this. He's out here in the subway. Take a listen to this. That's David Letterman.
Oh, wow.
Interviewing
I was trying to figure out who that was.
Dude.
Where's the New Yorker to push him in front of the train?
Just when I thought I couldn't lose more respect for Letterman, just when I thought David was at his lowest, then he goes ahead and surprises me with this.
I want to go to a war zone as friendly as Ukraine.
Yeah.
No crap. U2 concerts, Ben Stiller visits. Yeah. Wow. What? It's so weird. Like the whole celebrity thing around Ukraine is like, if you didn't get it already, that Ukraine was some place that we should not be sending money to and funneling money to and in support of, all it would take is looking at who supports it. Like at this point, that's all. Like if you have no indication, you've studied nothing on Ukraine at all.
Jew is right.
You're not even wrong. Ukraine probably is safer than New York right now, even with the Russian threat, because our money is going there and not to New York. I would bet you it's safer.
It's cleaner. That's for sure. That subway's a lot cleaner.
Imagine if we use that money to fix the water in Flint, Michigan or something.
Yeah, it's only been like 8
years. Didn't Kanye make the argument too, like the most dangerous place for a black infant is within the mother's womb, and then the second most dangerous place is in the city of Chicago? Yeah. So it's kind of like that. Like Ukraine can't be more dangerous than New York just by the statistics.
Ukraine's got actual Nazi battalions, and they're probably safer for black people than Chicago.
100%.
But you're not supposed to vote Republican because that would be really, really terrible, according to Sonny Hostin. Did you guys see this clip?
It's the end of democracy. Did you know that, Katie said? The end of democracy if you go vote Republican.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good, I guess. You're just making more cases for me to vote Republican.
I didn't realize we lived in a democracy.
Right.
Nope. Did you not put their audio on when you it's muted?
Did I not put it on?
No, it's our guys. Everyone at home watching. Sorry, it's our first time.
Let me try it again.
This is like my show.
You hear now?
Nope.
No, because you have to hit the share audio button when you do
I did. I think when it shut my audio off earlier in the stream, it must have screwed it up.
I'm just giving you a hard time while you find it. Yep. I was just buying you time by fake teasing you.
Did you find it, or do I need to pull it up?
I got it. I'm just I have to redo the whole thing.
Oh, it's Katie's fault.
It's Katie. You know what? That's who it is.
Is Abby Libby in the back pulling cords out?
But what's also surprising to me is the abortion issue. I read a poll just yesterday that white Republican suburban women are now going to vote Republican.
Why?
It's almost like roaches voting for Raid, right?
Can you pause that?
It's
I think
like they're voting.
I know that she doesn't mean to say it, but she already screwed up because she said white suburban Republican women are going to now vote Republican. She shouldn't have said it the first time.
Right.
She meant to just say white suburban women will now vote Republican, but she says Republican women will now vote Republican. And then they go, why? It's like she doesn't, I don't know why she's saying it that way.
As a white woman that lives in the suburbs of Atlanta, I'd like to say this is not the first time I'm voting Republican.
Well, I mean, it's crazy. Who would think that after you call white people the scum of the earth for decades, and then you say, hey, soccer moms are interested in your kids not being transitioned at school, you're on the terrorist watch list. I can't imagine why white suburban women are voting Republican.
No, it's insulting to the voter.
They're voting against their own self-interest. Do they want to live in Gilead?
Okay,
do we love in the hands?
Do we love democracy or not? Because just saying that it's insulting to the voter.
No. Yeah.
No, democracy's gay.
She pointed out the one thing that all the Democrats are not saying. They're all saying, "Oh, if we don't win, that's the end of democracy." And then she's like, "Well, doesn't democracy mean that people vote?" And yeah. So did you guys notice how she mentioned Gilead in there? Because that's another point they can't ever let go of.
What's Gilead?
Gilead is a reference to The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, okay.
She's saying, hey, if these white suburban women don't want to be looked at by the FBI because they don't want their kids to be groomed, isn't that the same as using them as incubators? Also, isn't it great that we use women as incubators for gay couples?
Yeah, isn't that great? That's fantastic. That's progressive.
That's super progressive. Yeah. The only people in America who are actually using women as incubators are Democrat gay men and Dave Rubin.
Yeah,
that kind of reminds me. I was out this morning with the chickens, and I grab a full handful of the mealworms, and typically instead of just like tossing them, scattering them into the dirt and letting them eat it, I held my hand out to see if they'd come and peck it, and they each individually come and just peck it right out of your hand, and then they all start going bark, 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 bark. And it's funny because they all sounded almost identical to what we just watched there on the screen.
Yeah, I was trying
Almost
to translate
identical.
it for you guys. I didn't know if you guys spoke clucking hen or whatever, but that's what the language the View speaks.
And actually, I got more intelligibility out of the chickens this morning. So
I believe it.
Better social commentary, I'm sure.
I don't know if that's a word, by the way, but I just created it. Now we're going to put it into the lexicon.
Joy Reid's going to be very upset about this.
Because she doesn't have any intelligibility whatsoever. That's now the ability to be intelligent, by the way. We're just coining a term.
So talking about Joy Reid appropriating Aaron Carter's culture. Frank had a story on Aaron Carter, didn't you?
I did have a story of Aaron Carter. Let me bring it up for us real quick.
He's got a connection to Aaron Carter.
I do, actually.
He was an NSYNC.
No, that was Backstreet Boys.
No, you.
Nick Carter. No,
Frank was the sixth Backstreet Boy.
Frank was an NSYNC.
You guys can tell the difference between NSYNC and Backstreet Boys?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I literally cannot, and people get mad at me because I'm like, yeah, that song.
I'd have to have a terrible memory to not be able to remember the difference.
I don't know the difference.
I wanted it that way.
Okay, I still don't know which one. Is that NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
No, that's Backstreet Boys.
I was gonna guess NSYNC. That no joke, and I'm being 100% serious. I don't know
on Tuesday, to pass the time on Election Day, we will have, and I will create it, a quiz of is it Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, and I'll have I'll have a list of 10 song names, and then PJ, you without knowing, will have to guess which one it is.
I would fail that too.
I'll just let Justin Timberlake was
NSYNC.
Backstreet.
NSYNC.
He was NSYNC. Okay, that's how I'll figure it out. I'll listen for the person that sounds like Justin Timberlake.
It'll be a lot of fun because I'm just going to name 10 songs from 98 Degrees.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
So Aaron Carter, I actually know Aaron Carter and Nick Carter because they lived in my hometown growing up. If you know where that is, you'll know where my hometown was. But I actually played basketball with Nick Carter, recreational basketball. There was a community place, and we would actually play against each other. My brother went to school with Aaron Carter. So when my brother texted me this story today, when he heard about it and told me about it, and I said, man, that sucks. Aaron Carter dead at 34. And it started, to get me thinking about what happened. Why was he? Why did this happen today? So I had to go search his Twitter to figure out what he tweeted last.
He was a fan of injections, not necessarily the vaccine, but he did a lot of injections.
He did.
Yeah, he did a lot of vaccines. I was gonna say my relationship with Aaron Carter was very different. We just shot up heroin together, so not as much basketball.
Yeah. So here's Aaron Carter's last tweet before this was taken. It said, "Yo, Kanye, let's talk man to man." Yep. So
I think I knows what happened.
You draw your own conclusions.
So dreidel me this. What do you expect? No.
Yeah. So, but it's sad to hear that Aaron Carter passed away. I don't know much about his life after his 15 minutes he had where he had that video or song with Shaq.
I don't even know what you're
first
talking
of all,
let's Candy.
Okay, we're not going to speak ill of the dead. It was Aaron's party, in parentheses, come get it. And then when
Candy.
that went somewhat semi-viral, then he had I Want Candy. That was the track 2 on the album. We always like to skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then How I Beat Shaq was like 6th or 7th on the album.
It's very concerning that Tom knows all of these.
I was going to say, I'm concerned
songs.
that Tom is very into boy
Is there
bands.
something you need to tell us?
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and pull it up so that you know. This is why, because it was very Americana.
With Joe Jonas right now. Maybe Tom would know.
Album cover.
But
you'll see why.
It is a sad story to hear that he had passed away, especially the connections that we had with him. And I wish his family the best, and hopefully they will get some answers of what happened. And unfortunately, if it was something with drug overdosing, I wish he would have got the help that he needed beforehand. There's Aaron Carter.
Yeah, can you not see why, as a young kid, I might just be drawn to this album for some reason? I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't know why, but I think that kid might have something to say. I want to listen to that.
Did you use
the
to
American
dye your
flag
hair
in the
blonde?
background?
Yeah.
The American flag sold it for me. That's why.
Yeah, Waffle Salter said Heath Ledger also died shortly after being seen in Joker makeup. Conspiracy. Yeah, it sounds like a story for you.
Not to get too conspiratorial, but we've had a string of celebrities again recently. Not that this doesn't happen all the time, of tweeting things and saying things and then kind of winding up super dead. We had Coolio not that long ago talking about a certain blood-related drug that he said he knew that Hollywood was into. And then this week with Kanye, it's been weird because didn't he? What was that tweet that he sent out about?
How is he still
wanting
alive?
to put him back in Zombieland. I'm like, that's what's more shocking to me. It's not. No, I thought you had it pulled up.
No, I'll grab it.
But that's why the Aaron Carter thing is more shocking to me. It's like, hey, Kanye, let's talk. But Kanye's the one who was like kind of spilling the tea on some stuff this week as far as his relationship to a certain gym owner that has said that he was involved in using mind control drugs and also was involved in Ellen Page right before her transition. And
the best clip of
weird.
Kanye this week is when he's describing his doctor. Did you all see that one?
No, I don't think I saw that one.
I don't know if I can repeat it on here. He basically said, if y'all haven't seen it, just look it up. I don't think I can.
Who's teasing their doctor?
He was saying he can't say the nationality or the religion of his doctor.
Yes, I did see that.
Did you see that one?
Yeah. So this is this is a text message that Kanye tweeted out, and this is from Harley, who is a trainer of some sort. We'll get into that in just a moment. But he says, "I'm going to help you." This is what he texted Kanye. "I'm going to help you one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words. And everything that is discussed is based in fact and not some crazy stuff and crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you, or you saw it in a tweet. Second option, I have you
institutionalized
again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same."
Yeah, you know the upside down, or what do they call it? The black space. What was it in Get Out, where he was just trapped mentally forever?
Shoot, what was that?
Because Kanye has referred to that in the last 2 years when he talks about his bipolar, and I think that's kind of what he's really referring to. Like, he's been put into this mental isolation. If you drug someone with these antipsychotics, antidepressants, it'll have a crazy effect on the mental chemistry of the person. It actually changes you.
I think
they do that to Britney as well. Britney Spears.
Yeah, no kidding. The biggest stars who still have the most, I guess, the largest megaphone or platform to speak from can occasionally break through it, and when they do, it looks like this.
I think Real Truth Cactus is a point here. She says, I think they're trying to discredit Kanye first via politics. Same reason Alex Jones is still alive. They either eliminate your credibility or make you dead. And I also would like to add to that. I feel like it's kind of an insurance policy for Kanye to come out and speak about things, because with Aaron Carter, it makes sense they shut him up before he says anything. But Kanye is kind of out there saying so much stuff right now that if they killed him now, it would be impossible not to insinuate certain things.
Well, and better kill Aaron Carter before he connects with Kanye and they say, hey, now someone else is verifying Kanye's thing. It's like, no, nip that in the bud, but let Kanye stay out there on a limb.
Well, it's like Kyrie Irving just recently shared, that.
When they're trying to make him sound crazy too, right?
Yeah, they try to make him sound crazy, and they, fined him and made him donate, and
he's sitting
for 5
he's
games.
sitting something, right? The headline there was so Orwellian. It was like report from the New York Times: Kyrie Irving suspended for quote failure to disavow anti-Semitism. And it's like, so hang on a second. Now you're compelling speech.
They absolutely are.
I don't even remember. I don't even know what Kyrie Irving said. I just heard
he
had promoted a movie.
Alex Jones
Hebrews
movie,
to Negroes. It was the name of the movie, and he promoted that movie. I haven't seen the movie yet. I will.
I haven't seen it either, but all I saw was the interview where they're like, "Hey, you're promoting this." I'm not promoting anything. I retweeted something. Alex, lots of people have said this or retweeted this. I thought this was interesting and curious. It's not promotion. I'm not promoting it.
Yeah.
And the interviewer just wouldn't let it go. They're like, "Hey, you said something or tweeted something or acknowledged that something exists out there, a documentary, I guess, that we don't want to be acknowledged that exists. So you're promoting it." And the guy just would not let it go. It was really strange.
Yeah. Wait, you're saying that the Hebes don't let it go?
Well, it was just like Kyrie Irving's response to it was.
They gave his money back. They fined him $1.5 million and then gave it back. So. I mean, first time ever, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know they gave it back.
Yeah.
I just thought the thing that stuck out to me was that Kyrie Irving seemed like the only sane person in this conversation. He was like, "Hey, I'm not promoting it. Like, let's move on. Let's talk about something else." And the interviewer seemed crazy. And then they're trying to make Kyrie Irving out to be nuts. It's like, you don't have to agree with Kyrie Irving or not. Like, he's just saying, I tweeted something. That's my right to do.
Yeah.
Obviously not his right to do.
Well, apparently it's not.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a machine's not going to skip over one spot that it's missed. Like, it's going to make sure it nails that down. So this is the machine saying, hey, everyone else has capitulated and complied. Kyrie is the one who continues to stick out and make a scene. We need to be seen to nail him down, pin him down, and have him saying he's sorry, saying that he was wrong. And the fact that he says, oh, I just wasn't doing what you're accusing me of next.
Yeah.
That's him again getting out of it. And so they need to do something more.
Yeah, let's take a listen. This is the place. This is the thing that led up to everything else.
Kyrie, while we're on the topic of promotion, why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
That was a few weeks ago. I do not stand with Alex Jones' position, narrative, court case that he had with Sandy Hook, or any of the kids that felt like they had to relive trauma, or parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to all the lives that were lost during that tragic event. My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults, and it's true. So I wasn't identifying with anything of being a campaignist for Alex Jones or anything. I was just there to post. And it's funny, and it's actually hilarious, because out of all the things I posted that day, that was the one post that everyone chose to see. It just goes back to the way our world is and works. I'm not here to complain about it. I just exist.
And to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book.
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
Put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me in front of
putting it out there, people are going to say that you are
I put it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
You put things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff is not.
So let's move on.
Filled
let's
with
move on.
Anti-Semitic.
Let's move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing that.
Another
You're
human
free to
being.
post
I can post whatever I want. So say that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that
I don't have to understand anything from you.
It's not me.
Nothing.
By
It's no people that you're making up, bro. Move on.
But by posting
move on. Next question.
Anybody
Do you guys have any more questions?
and they're going to say,
you guys have any more
does he have
questions? Because this is going to be a clip.
anti-Semitic
This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
But you're not answering the question.
Oh, this is another answering your question. Oh my God, let's make another Instagram clip so we could be famous again. Next question.
Kyrie.
I know that the guy asking the question is black, but I'm just going to say he won't give it up as if he's been personally hurt, like he is Jewish himself. And you know that that's the kind of control that some of the managers and enforcers or investors or Weinstein production assistants have, that control that they have over the talent, is that the talent or the journalists or whoever want to keep their job, they will be the attack dog, even if it is a lot like roaches voting for Raid.
It's the one thing you're not allowed to talk about.
Did you notice that part where he said you agreed with Alex Jones on a certain point and you're not allowed to do that? Like, this is the whole point of shutting down Alex Jones. Now, any time that Alex Jones ever said anything, he said plenty of things that are true. You can disagree with him on lots of stuff. I disagree with him on certain things as well. But now the new standard is if Alex Jones ever said it, you're not allowed to disagree with it, because now you're linked back to the Sandy Hook stuff. You're linked to any negative thing we can throw out against Alex Jones that day. You're responsible for all of it. You're promoting it.
I agree with a lot of Alex Jones.
I agree with a lot of Alex Jones as well. So whatever, like that attack doesn't bother me. I'm not Kyrie Irving, but like
the only thing I don't agree with Alex Jones on is that Sandy Hook happened. When he's since apologized and all that stuff, I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
I gotta say, like when the court case came out, I was like, man, I'm starting to. It's making me question it more than I used to.
Look, when you sue a man for $1 trillion or something dollars, when it's all said and done, that's what they want. They said like $1 trillion.
Yeah.
When you sue a man for that much to keep him quiet, it's almost like, hey, what will you do what won't you do to keep that truth hidden?
Right. Yeah.
Because no one's afraid of a lie that bad. You just let it, at that point, you're like, okay, yeah, so what? It's crazy.
By the way,
your worst, deepest, darkest secret of all time, you would pay $1 trillion to hide.
Every single school shooting, every single mass shooting has had the exact same questions asked about it. We've all been on Facebook. We've all seen the people posting pictures of crisis actors. We saw it with Vegas. We saw it with the Boston bombing. We saw it with we saw conspiracies up around Uvalde. It's just Sandy Hook. That's the only one where you're not allowed to ask questions. That in and of itself makes me go, I used to think it wasn't whatever, but now it actually kind of makes you believe it is.
The one that makes me think that it's different than all the others, apart from the helicopters being missing, apart from the ambulances not going to the school, those things could be circumstantial. The one that I know is really weird, they demolished the school and then rebuilt it perfectly, brick by brick, in its exact footprint. And that doesn't happen. You don't do that. You don't demolish the school because, it's just got bad juju in it and a lot of bad memories, but then also rebuild it exactly foot by foot, brick by brick. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
unless, of course, you're trying to get rid of evidence.
They would be feeling like they're walking in the same school when it's all said and done, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Except for chemically, it wouldn't be in case you went to test it. They'd have an alibi as to why there would not be blood on the floor.
Right.
Very true. Very true. So, yeah, a lot of crazy stuff happening out there, guys, with celebrities and things that, are being silenced. It's just crazy.
Katie Z, I don't want to speak for you. Do you want to just state for the record really quickly where you stand on Sandy Hook?
I think I'm where PJ is, where I really believed it happened, but then with all these lawsuits, the fact that they're suing Alex Jones for more than they sued Adam Lanza's estate just really makes you think, like, did it really? Because
who haven't they sued by now? They sued Remington as well.
They did sue Remington for less than they sued Alex Jones for. Remington, a multi-million-dollar company, they sued for less than they're suing
They should
Alex
sue
Jones
the
for.
back of Fetterman's neck and see what they can get out of that.
What kills me is that Remington settled with them. Why on earth would you?
They're
Cheaper than
legally
the legal suit.
That's just opening the door for lawsuits in the future, wide open.
They're going to probably happen anyways.
They're legally exempt from that type of lawsuit.
They absolutely are. They would have won that lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So here's Fetterman. This is just recently. This is within the last hour.
Post-stroke.
Yeah. As you see, he's dressed.
Is this what's going on in Pennsylvania right now?
It is. It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I run on Roe v. Wade. Celebrates the demise of Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, so things are going great in Pennsylvania.
Can we hear that like 3 more times on a loop before?
Yeah, just one more time.
I run on Roe v. Wade. Celebrates the demise of Roe v. Wade.
All right, he's got my vote.
I run on Roe v. Wade. celebrates the demise of Roe v. Wade.
It kind of reminds me of when he was asked about fracking.
That's what I was about to say. It was the same thing as fracking.
He's running on Roe v. Wade. In fact, he's celebrating the demise of Roe v. Wade. He wants all your vote, the left and the right. Come on, everybody, vote for me.
I can overlook the letting the murderers out of prison if we're gonna stop killing babies. Just
Yeah,
saying.
Yeah, so things are going fantastic over at the Pennsylvania rally over there. So
You think he was trying to say he's running on Roe v. Wade and the right is celebrating the demise of Roe, and he just couldn't say those words?
You seem to be able to understand Fetterman the best out of all.
I was
of us,
trying
so.
to again. I was trying to understand retard earlier, and this one's a little harder.
So is everyone in Pennsylvania tonight? Because
It's a
Trump's in
specific
Pennsylvania
dialect
too.
of retard. Yeah,
They're about 2 tree candidates out there in Pennsylvania right now.
Yep.
That's my
So
Pennsylvanian for you.
You have something pulled up for us to watch, PJ.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, there's a lot of people that see the retardedness of the Democratic Party, and I'm not just talking about John Fetterman, but there's one guy who's got a very hilarious coming out video about how he's gonna be voting Republican now. I want to play that for you guys.
Hey, in the chat, don't tell me that people have died if they didn't die. Michael J. Fox isn't dead.
Yeah, he's alive still.
Don't scare me like that, bastards.
Somebody say Michael J. Fox died?
Yeah, well, we were talking about all the people that the Jews are killing right now. They said, yeah, Michael J. Fox is dead too. And I was like, ah! And I look, and sure enough, now he shook him loose.
I'm going to be teaching you how to use frogs, pronouns, and sentences, so let's go.
Yeah, that's it. I'm Republican now. I'm done. I can't do it, right? I'm accepting, tolerant, inclusive, right? Whatever gender you want to identify as, binary, non-binary, but not going to call people frogs. We draw the line at amphibians, right? You can't identify as a frog because you're not a frog, right? You know that though, right? You weren't cursed by a witch in a Disney movie, right? You don't hop lily pad to lily pad, right? So I to call you frogs or frog self would be a little ridiculous, right? So yeah, I'm a Republican now. MAGA. Stop.
I mean, the water is making the frogs gay, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, come on into the boiling pot. The water's warm.
I was gonna say, of all the retarded pronouns, I feel like frog and frog self does make the most sense because everybody's 33 million Americans right now have atrazine in their taps. So I'm just saying, it makes more sense than some of them. I find it funny though, like there's a breaking point for everybody, and that's the thing I've been realizing about 2022 is we've seen the breaking point for people that you wouldn't expect. Frank played that clip earlier of I don't know, MSNBC talking to eyebrows in the sky, Kathy Hochul. And she's like, look, I'm obviously like paid to pitch for your team and to carry your water, but I can't walk into the grocery store. I can't go into the subway. Ukraine subway's safe than ours. Say what?
Yeah, someone's trying to update us on Biden date minute to minute. We got to know what happened.
Yeah, did you hear what happened to Biden 20 minutes ago? No,
yeah,
no
somebody
idea.
drop a link in the chat. I want to see this.
Yeah. Can't just leave us hanging like that.
Did he finally mobilize True National Depression? Because I've been waiting for 2 years.
Did he shard again?
It's like one of those things you have to pass it to know what's in it. He has to actually mobilize True National Depression for us to know what it is.
I'm kind of hoping he fell off a stage or something.
Or turn around trying to shake a ghost hand and like miss and like fall over.
I'm guessing there were just reports of a pedophile on the loose. And so the Secret Service goes to secure him and says, sir, don't worry. We're looking for someone who's just molested a child. And he goes, all right, fine, I'll do it.
How many times has Biden turned around and shook the hands of one of Hillary's victims at this point? You know,
Oh my God.
shaking all these ghost hands.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, they're his voters, you dick.
His voters.
Did you see that clip from Kari Lake where she talked about Hillary Clinton?
Oh,
no,
she
wait,
did. She had a great week. Or
Yeah.
maybe a week or weekend. Carrie had a couple big pops in the last couple days.
Yeah,
She had the one. Yeah, go ahead. But I know she had
I'll grab
the.
it.
Yeah, while you're grabbing that, she had that one earlier this week where someone asked her about who was it? Someone that died, and they're like, his mom is very upset with you. Who are they talking about?
It was Brian Sicknick's mother said that it's people like Kari Lake that got her son killed.
Yeah, the Capitol Police officer.
Right. And she said something to the effect of, instead of saying like, wow, that mom's out of line for saying that, or I didn't do that, or anything like that, she says, wow, as a mother, I can't imagine what she must be going through, losing her son. The loss of a child, it would be unimaginable. I can't like, she basically like did all the right things. She felt, she put on both knees, was like, oh, I'm so sorry that this happened. While it's not me and we didn't do that, and there are a lot of questions about that, it's still sad to see that people are this way. And Kari, I thought, handled it brilliantly, but I don't know if you have the clip.
Yeah, no, I'm getting that one clip about her talking about Hillary Clinton. So give me 1 second. I do have that clip too, by the way.
Jeez, Mom, I can only set the table for so long.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man. I didn't know if I was going this way with the show, so I would have had it ready. Yeah. So anyway, Hillary Clinton. She's out there talking about the election being, possibly stolen, right?
Yeah,
Hillary Clinton
isn't her website something about like coming together or something like the indivisible, something like that? And then she's trying to divide everybody.
Well, I mean, she already divided us into a basket of deplorables a few years ago.
She divisited us for sure.
She divisited us very hard. Yeah.
All right, I got it. Here we go. Sorry for the wait. So here's Kari Lake on Hillary Clinton.
But I was a little concerned today, I'm going to be honest, when I saw Hillary Clinton bad-mouthing me, and she looked angry and actually scared and just completely unrelated. I want you to know, just in case you're wondering, I'm in perfect health. My brakes on my car are in good shape, and I'm not suicidal. And we're going to win this thing on Tuesday. But I wasn't.
Smart lady. Really smart lady. Because not only is she making a good joke that strikes a chord with people at home, but she's also saying it for the record. Now people really can't kill her.
No.
She needs to. Although that one guy got a tattoo that said he didn't kill himself, and then
he killed himself.
Well, no, he said, when I get killed, you'll know that that's what it is because I'm not suicidal, and he had whacked tattooed on him. Right? That was McAfee.
Schwacked.
Yeah. It was John McAfee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. I've got Kari Lake shutting them down on the. I don't know if you wanted to watch this one. Well, we're going to.
That's the one I had. Yeah, that's one I had just picked up. Okay.
Chris Bickley from CBS News.
Hi, Chris.
I don't know if you've seen this ad attacking you. That's
which one?
Which one?
Which one, Chris?
The mother of Brian Sicknick, the Capitol Police officer that died the day after January 6th. She, in an attack ad, is saying that people like you specifically are responsible for her son's death.
It's very dire.
Credit, dude. That guy, that reporter, didn't actually say he died on January 6th like all the politicians do. He actually caught himself in the midst of it to say that he died the day after, which Kari would have probably picked up on that if he would have tried to do the other way.
Yeah. So good credit to him, because this is the craziest insinuation. Kari Lake, first of all, being specifically responsible for someone who died of natural causes after January 6th.
She obviously sent the blood clot, so.
she personally delivered his Pfizer shot to his house.
It was probably because the Capitol Police were forced to take the jabby jab.
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced that Brian Sicknick didn't die because he saw something or heard something he shouldn't have, and he was one of the first that they suicided. Remember, there were like seven police,
agree with
6
Tom
or
on
7
this.
officers that suicided themselves during the summer when they were looking for people to testify. Instead, they got Michael Fanone, the crier on CNN, who was like shaking the legs of CNN's Don Lemon at the time.
Neck tattoo guy, is that what we're talking about?
Bingo. Yeah, the guy who looks like he's got human particle or particulate on his little soul patch flavor saver. And now it seems to me, I'm just going to say again, 5 or 6 or 7 police officers during July and August of the lead up of last year before the Senate testimony all seems like, oh, these officers could testify, but they died. They died for what reason? I don't know, but they could have talked and now they're not.
See, that's the crazy thing about this is I actually agree when the left is saying like January 6th, quote unquote, killed these officers. It wasn't just natural causes. I agree with that. It's just that it wasn't the protesters either.
Was it hammering? Did they find hammers inside those?
They found them inside of Paul Pelosi's basement in their underwear.
People
natural
like you
causes
specifically are responsible for her son's death.
It's very dire for our democracy, for our country, with the candidates like Kari Lake. My son died because of people like Kari Lake.
I'm curious, what do you think when you hear that?
What's her name?
The mother of Brian Sicknick?
Yeah.
I think it's Cindy Sicknick.
Cindy, I just want to say to Cindy Sicknick, I'm so sorry about the death of your son. It is tragic. I'm
a mother myself, and that is, it breaks my heart. That is a wound when you lose a child, no matter how old they are, that never heals. And so I don't want to disparage her. She doesn't.
That's the class move, right? Does everyone agree like that? First of all, the first thing to say, the first response needs to be, I feel so bad to Cindy, to her. I'm sorry for your loss. Like, that's the right thing for the person to do graciously. Like, that's the etiquette.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really classy and and super clever. Like her line on CNN Plus will be maybe one of the greatest disses of all time. So
she's savvy and on the spot in the moment.
Right.
Doesn't know me. I wasn't anywhere near the Capitol on January 6th. And I understand that her son died, I think, the following day of a stroke or natural causes. And I feel for her, and I see the pain in her eyes. And I would never try to disparage or hurt her, because I know when a mother has pain like that, there's no way to heal that. And that's why I feel for these moms and dads who hit me up on the campaign trail and they grab me. And you can spot them from across the room. There is
I want to know which dads are grabbing Kari Lake and which moms are letting that happen.
a loss in their lives that can never be replaced. And we're losing thousands of young people. When they tell me they lost a son to fentanyl, when they lost a daughter to fentanyl poisoning, this is why we are pushing so hard to secure that border and stop fentanyl from pouring across. I'm used to attack ads. I've had probably more money spent against me than any candidate in Arizona in attack ads, but the people know me here. They're not believing what they're seeing in the attack ads. I've been in their homes for 27 years. And additionally, besides attack ads, I've had 100% negative lying coverage by the fake news of me and my campaign and our people. And so we've withstood that, and we will win, and we're going to do great things for Arizona despite what you guys say.
She's very Trump-like, where she's on the spot, able to turn something that, like that said. It reminds me of when Trump was hit with the news of Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying. I'm just hearing this for the first time.
Wow, that's terrible. Yeah. She was a great woman. Wow.
You're telling me for the first time.
Yeah, I'm hearing this for the first time. Wow.
I think it's interesting that she ran into George Floyd's parents down there in Arizona.
I didn't know that. She did?
Yeah, the fentanyl overdoses.
Oh.
The joke's good when you have to explain it.
Yeah, no. Well, now his daughter will sue you for like $1 million or $1 billion or whatever.
Good luck with that.
So, trillion.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It was definitely the knee on his shoulder that wasn't even on his neck that killed him, obviously, even though he died later from a fentanyl overdose.
Yeah, I'll deliver some rocks.
Also point out, it sounded like Cindy Sicknick was saying, people like Kari Lake are why my son died, and then it cut. Like, it was very jumbled. It was not single.
She was definitely reading.
Right. She was reading a thing, and it was like it was not her words, and she didn't know if she was saying it for the first time, if it was even being recorded. Who knows if she signs a waiver saying she's going to read a bunch of things into the camera and that they own all the clips, and then whatever happens with it.
Right.
I'm sure they cut something, because she didn't seem like she intended it that way. But I can also understand her saying, if not for these Republicans, there would never be a January 6th. And so then there would never be pepper spray and jabs and a bunch of other things to give my son heart pressure and a bunch of other things that would, I don't know. I don't still know what happened to Brian Sicknick, but they say it was a stroke. We don't know.
What's the whole, I don't fully understand, I guess, the link back to Kari Lake. Was she involved in the planning of January 6th?
No, just that she's an outspoken election denier. So people like her.
Yeah. Somebody gave that woman $100 bills to say those things. That's why it links back to Kari Lake.
Yeah, it's just such a stupid, tenuous, link that I'm wondering who this sells to. But then again, if you're still believing in the lies of January 6th, all of this, you're just eating it all.
It's why Kari just said that more money has been spent against her than in anyone else's, race in Arizona. Part of that was in response to the question on Cindy Sicknick. So you can see exactly how savvy she is, saying, a lot of people have spent a lot of money to say things that aren't true, and the people in Arizona know it. And so you're telling people that Cindy Sicknick is a liar who just got paid, but without saying so. And that's, again, very tactful.
Clever. Yeah, very tactful.
Yeah, I just got to pull it up. This is the worst drag queen story hour I've seen yet.
Is this
I know for a fact 2 of them are men up there.
One of them's married to a man.
Wow, where'd they get all those people from? I've never seen a Republican or a Democratic rally with that many people in the.
That is all
Okay,
of
you
them,
say
by the
that,
way.
but some of this looks like there's some outlining that's odd on the sides here. I'm just
It
going to
really-
point out. It looks like
yeah.
there's some layering in this image.
Yeah,
Look
this
at
is in
that.
Philly.
Like blow that up again.
There's a
Yeah.
pattern there for sure.
There's definitely like three layers of crowd depth. Because the color on the front here doesn't match the color on the back. There's like a gap here for some reason. Maybe
That's
there's just not a
interesting.
full set of bleachers. I don't know.
Good eye. Good eye.
Yeah, it's like I said, they could have. All they'd
It
have
doesn't
to do
have
is
to be
just push-
doctored for it to look bad.
Yeah. How many times have we seen that? Was
Hitler in the middle right there? You see that mustache?
Yeah, the mustache, the guy. Nazi confirmed.
Guys, that's Cesar
no,
Chavez.
guys, it's
you
just the
racists.
Ukrainian that came to support Biden for all the billions of dollars we sent them.
Yeah, let's see if we can't enlarge
Oh, that literally does look like Zelensky with a fake mustache.
Right there.
He's wearing a disguised mustache.
Does
and
it
fake
look like
nose.
he's wearing a grandma sweater and a giant mustache?
That's just his green ready
his-
shirt that he wears every day.
It's his uniform.
And he's short too, like Zelensky. Anyway. We got about 4
Short
minutes
and-
before last call here. You got any other stories you wanted to pick up before
Jeez.
we?
Yeah, the quality of that crowd looked worse than on the Wii Golf.
Yeah, hold on. I had one
But
more. I
in
was
Wii
trying to
Golf,
find.
you probably have fewer holes in one than you did on that stage. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
So
I
did
don't know.
you
You
see,
can take that somehow, some way.
do you guys see that the advertisers are threatening to boycott Twitter now?
Not just threatening, they're doing it.
Yeah, they are boycotting Twitter. Did you see Musk's response to this? Musk
$8?
threatens a thermonuclear name and shame of woke advertisers that are boycotting Twitter. So he tweeted out, Twitter has had a massive drop in revenue due to activist groups pressuring advertisers, even though nothing has changed with content moderation, and we did everything we could to appease the activists. Extremely messed up. They're trying to destroy free speech in America. So yeah, it looks like what are you guys' thoughts on the whole Twitter boycott stuff?
I just want to know when I should sign up again. Just Elon, let us know when the doors are officially lifted for those who've been banned with their IP and their phone numbers and everything else. Because I would love to get on and storm back against some of these social justice trolls, but every time I do, I get auto banned. So fix that.
That's what's
and then we
funny to
can
me
talk.
is it's like they're trying to sell the narrative that it's everybody's back on Twitter, that everything's allowed, that it's a total free speech platform, which just isn't happening. Not yet anyway. And as far as I can tell, Elon Musk has been at least meeting with, seems like more activists, more leftists, trying to appease them as anybody. What was that guy? Yoel
Roth?
Yoel Roth. Yeah. Guy
I mean,
who
Elon
Sorry.
Musk is a leftist, so it's to be expected. I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
and maybe he's like a liberal. I don't know if I would say he's like a hard leftist. Maybe
no,
he is.
I wouldn't say he's a hard leftist, but he is on the left.
I mean,
Well, so-
Kanye West was, just to bring it full circle, Kanye West said that it's retarded, that's the quote, newsworthy, retarded, of Joe Biden not to be meeting with Elon Musk. He says the president of the United States is not meeting with Elon Musk. That is retarded.
Mhm.
And I mean, it kind of is true. Like, if Elon Musk is leading Twitter, if Elon Musk is leading SpaceX, leading Tesla, you'd think he would be having meetings with the leader of the country.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with Kanye, just like I agree with Alex Jones. So
Yeah, so check this out. The journalists are obviously crying over on Twitter. They're making, a big stink about everything. This is Leland Lee DeVito, who is an editor-in-chief at Detroit Metro Times, and he also likes the pronouns he/him, says Elon's $8 a month checkmark is a tax on journalism.
he's just mad his check mark's about to be taken away because he paid for it.
a lot of these companies actually do pay for, like, that was a real story, by the way. I think Tim Pool even talked about when he worked for, who did he work for before?
Vice.
When he worked for Vice called up Twitter and paid them to get all their employees check marked. So this is like something we've all known was happening.
Yep.
He's just mad that he's got to ask his company for an $8 a month stipend now
Yeah.
instead of like, it's just
I'll
stupid.
pay
It's virtue signaling.
$8 so I can have a little check mark so I can troll the other blue check marks on there.
Well, it's like we completely forgot what check marks was originally supposed to be.
It was just
for. There was-
verification for the person who said that who they were.
Right, like
Yeah,
you
it was just
couldn't
so-
submit like a Twitter account called Kleenex and then disparage the brand Kleenex without it being the real one.
Yeah, I can't say I'm Tom America Floats and then just put a bunch of like crazy stuff on Twitter and be like, oh, that's not.
Yeah,
actually
because
who this
he's
is.
already done that himself 7 times and been banned for each and every one.
But I mean, that's all this $8 a month thing is on top of. They said it would, be analytics and stuff like that. I heard someone put it out that
you can you can change the color when you have Twitter Blue. You can change the color of Twitter and you can have it be whatever color you want.
You can do that. You can change the color of your check
When
marks?
when I just had Twitter back, like when I was on my honeymoon and I got banned for the umpteenth time again, I was using Twitter Blue where I was paying $3 a month, I think, to have, or I was on the trial of it maybe, and I had Orange. Orange was my Twitter, and I was going bananas, and I'd had like thousands of people follow in a couple hours, and then it got nuked.
Oh, goodness. Hey, unknown depressed Packers fan, thank you so much for that. And since we are in last call, I'll go ahead and read this one out. It says, it seems like when the GOP is winning, they lose.
Just like the Packers.
That's why he's a depressed Packers fan. Yeah, I feel like we're so used to being on the defensive that we don't know how to win sometimes.
True. So,
wait, are you saying that Bill Clinton was right when he says that Republicans just want to be mad and angry?
Some people do. I honestly think some people don't want to win. I think
agree.
some people, yeah.
Yeah, well, like Paul Ryan, the Rhinos don't want to win. They want to be the fake opposition.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's like we talked about with the overturning of Roe v. Wade. You could see who was not excited about it, and those are the people who are looking at, my funding dollars, my campaign dollars are going to go away. So they don't want to win.
Fetterman doesn't get any more excited about it, but he also is really now excited about the demise of it.
The demise of it, yeah. Fetterman's more excited about the demise of Roe v. Wade than a lot of GOP rhinos were. That's for sure.
Waffle Salter came in earlier tonight with speaking to black people. Cheers.
Speaking of black people.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Waffle Salter.
Thank you so much. This one coming in from I Like Salt earlier this evening for $2 says, we are all flawed. Drink and nicotine just as guilty.
Well, I like salt as well.
Yes.
But mostly I like nicotine. And
Ocean Breeze Salty comes in with $10 earlier tonight. Says, Frank, have you had a your journo lately? I have not, actually. Cheers all. Woo, white supreme, commie drink tonight, white Russians.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you so much, Ocean Breeze.
That's Pelosi's favorite drink.
They might, talking about white Russians, they might actually want to stop you from drinking them now, because now they're saying that you're not supposed to read Tolstoy or Dostoevsky because they were Russian, and now they, even though they died like 100 years ago, they're responsible for everything Putin's done, and aren't they terrible people? So don't read the greatest novels of all time, like Crime and Punishment.
Yeah, of course not. So. And Waffle Salter came in a little bit before 8 o'clock. Says, time to drink from the fire hose. Waffle Salter, thank you so much.
Thank you, Waffle Salter.
Man, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you, Waffle Salter. And I think we should sing happy birthday
Happy
to him,
birthday.
Right?
Yeah, no place where I'd rather...
Wait. Katie Zed has to sing happy birthday like she's Marilyn Monroe. For
Oh,
$100?
Negative.
Negative. Happy birthday, Mr.
Well, turns out PJ's got it.
PJ's all you, man.
There we
go.
go. That's all you. No,
All
that's
right,
all I
so
got.
take
That's
it
all I
away.
got.
All right, so on 3, we'll sing together in unison. Okay.
All
right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. It's not going to work. This is never going to work.
No.
Hey, Waffle Salter, happy
think
birthday, buddy. We appreciate your
I
support.
think my Marilyn Monroe was much better than that. Thank you, Waffle Salter.
It was
Thank
very
you,
good.
Waffle Salter. Thank you
It's
so
scary. It's frighteningly good.
Everyone just hesitating, staring at the screen.
We also had another one come in, Kimberly EF. If you're going to send a super chat, put a message in there. We want to hear what you have to say. But
Yeah.
thank you so much. Anyways, so thank you so much. And finish that one off there, too.
Yeah, Waffle Salter is the MVP tonight. So, again, tell everyone in the chat should be thanking Waffle Salter for being the biggest supporter tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope you have a great birthday, Waffle Salter.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, absolutely, Waffle Salter.
Also, Waffle Salter had one of our greatest memes of the night, too.
He did. Do you have that one back up again?
Yeah, I'm going to pull that up again.
Yeah,
So-
there we go. Yeah. If you haven't followed Waffle Salter over on Twitter, go follow him. He has an excellent memes he puts out throughout the week.
Oh, the Commie Eliminator also sent a super chat saying, great show, guys and gals. USA, USA, USA.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, we got it. I'm very excited about Tuesday night. We will have Katie Zed back at some point. What time's your time slot, Katie?
I think 9:30.
I think so. Yeah, I think
Late
Katie
for me,
Zed's
but I'll
with
make it.
Katie Zed's on with Frankie Rodriguez at 9:30. So
Oh, that'll be like one of the best spots then.
I love Frankie. She's awesome.
Yeah,
she's
maybe I
great.
can take my break at that time when Frankie comes in, and she can fill in for me.
Funny enough, I probably wouldn't know any of you guys if it wasn't for Frankie Rodriguez, honestly enough, because it was Frankie is who introduced me to Steven Ignoramus, and that's how I met Katie Zed and Frank and all the rest of you guys. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Frankie's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, we got a lineup. Do we have a list of guests that we're going to have on? We could.
Abby's got it. I could try to name a few. So
She's busy with her flying lesson.
we've got Cam Harless coming back. We've got I think Radix is coming back on. Do we have fake news critic?
Yeah,
look at Kimberly ES. She was celebrating. Frank, she says, I had my birthday last week. I sent myself to Kauai for a month. Grounded at the beach and officially 61 years young. Well, congratulations again, Kimberly. We're happy to hear it. Hope you had a fun time in the islands.
Yeah,
Kauai is my favorite island.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. News.
Wait, it's not
now.
Epstein Island?
What?
It's Little St. James is her favorite island. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yep.
News now says I found all of us through Katie Zed.
Oh,
True
nice.
crime fan right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
New stuff here. Awesome. Yeah.
By
so
the way, if you're not a true crime fan, if you're watching right now, your wife probably is. So tell her about my channel.
That's actually a good point. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, we love having you as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, we got big things. We got a few minutes here. We got about 4 minutes. We got some big things happening on the channel as we move into the first of the year. Next year in January, there are going to be some things where we're going to go ahead and really solidify the brand of Last American Pubcast. I'm very excited in the direction the channel is heading. And so I'm very excited to, give you guys updates as we go upon that journey together, as we continue to make this a place for gathering and having a great time with everybody. And the things that, we have planned. I think we got some great stuff on tap. I think we have some fantastic ideas from, the pubcasters. So I'm very excited about the direction we're heading in for next year. I know Tom is, and so is PJ, and Abby, when she gets done with her flying lesson, I'm sure she will as well with that. But, it's all because of you guys. It's all because of what you guys have shown to support, whether it's liking, subscribing, sharing it, or even the monetary way as well. All of that's appreciated. We really do appreciate how you guys support this program, and we thank you. Even on nights where we have to go up against Trump, you guys still show up and want to spend time here with us, and that speaks volumes to your guys' commitment and support of this channel.
Yeah, and to the credit of the audience as well, if not everyone can afford to send a super chat or send anything at all, and we understand that, and we're right there with you. Mm-hmm. So the other thing you can do to help us grow is to just like the videos and the streams that we have and to share them as much as you can. That is a free way to support us, and then maybe one of those other people that see it can help do the same.
Yep, yeah. Absolutely. And we're trying to put out more shorter videos throughout the week. So if there's parts of the stream that you really like, we'll try to cut those up and then make them a little bit more shareable. I know not everybody has 2 hours to spend time with us, so we're cutting those up and doing some extra stuff there so you can like and share those as well. Really helps us out.
Good point.
Yep. And while we were wrapping up, we got the last minute here. I'm going to give it to Katie to shill her own channel. So go ahead, Katie.
Awesome. Everyone, please subscribe to my channel. Somebody link it in the chat for me because I can't multitask. Awesome. If you don't like true crime, like I said, your wife probably does. So tell her about it. And I like to cover stories from a right-leaning perspective. Most of these people who are covering true crime are left-leaning. They're trying to get the criminals out of jail. It's crazy. Kim Kardashian, my next episode is going to be on a guy named Kevin Keith, who Kim Kardashian is trying to get out of jail right now. He's 100% guilty, and I'll tell you why next weekend on Sunday, 4:00.
Ooh, nice tease from Katie Zed.
I like it. How many subscribers are you at now, Katie?
I think last I checked, it was 151. So we'll see if it might be more after.
You know what? We have 100 people here right now.
155 now. Yep.
Oh, 155.
We have 100 people here right now. Let's get Katie to 200. That'd be great.
We have, Frank, we've got double that. Frank, we have double that because we've got 100 people on this side.
Oh, let's get.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what? We're going to stream for an extra 2 minutes.
Awesome.
2 minutes.
So that everyone watching has an opportunity to go do two things. Like, share, subscribe, grab links in the description below, help us all grow, and go to Katie Zed's channel so you can help grow and help follow that on YouTube. What is it called?
Katie Zed.
There it is.
That's it.
And put the link
Yeah.
back in the description. Or
Yep,
in
I'll
the,
drop it one
chat
more
again.
time.
Yeah, do it one more time there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
YouTube
Katie
slash
Zed's-
Katie Zed, whatever the regular YouTube slash Katie Zed is.
Yep, we'll go to 9:02. So we got 2 more minutes. So we want you guys to go over there and help support one of our favorite guests who, got a last minute phone call from PJ says, "Hey, could you fill in tonight?"
And I'm like,
Katie Zed
hey,
has
I
been-
got no life. Yes, of course I can.
Katie Zed has been my absolute favorite go-to of I need a guest, because not only does she come every time and does an absolute killer job with everything she does, but she's just a lot of fun to have around, and she's always puts in the work. So I've
you.
said this to Frank earlier on Wartime Propaganda. You're my number one return guest for a reason, because I just love having you on. So it's always
I'm
a
first
pleasure.
and foremost a fan of this show, so I love having the opportunity to interact with you guys, not just in the chat, but in real life. So I appreciate it so much, and I'm a fan of all of you. So I'm fangirling out right now, just being on the show with you guys.
So talking real quick, since you were teasing that Kim Kardashian thing, we talked about this a little bit. Kim Kardashian's got a history of like KK names as well on top of it, like Kevin Keith and
Kevin Cooper,
Yeah.
Julius Jones. It's alliterated names. She likes to keep the alliterated names, murderers, mostly of African American descent, out of prison for some reason. And every time I look into one of these cases, I find out they're 100% guilty.
Just like following in her father's footprints.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it all
right.
started with OJ. But
We got 20 seconds, guys. Make them count. 20 seconds. Let's.
Adnan Syed was just released from prison. We should be concerned about this because he 100% killed that young girl in 1999, whenever.
Do you
it
have to
was.
say allegedly or no?
No, he 100% did it. I've looked into the evidence.
Oh,
He
okay.
did it.
Okay. So he can't sue you for saying that right now.
He probably can, but he's about to sue the city of Baltimore, even though he's a
For
murderer.
$1 trillion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. I know Katie Zed appreciates all the new subscribers. Hopefully we got her near 200.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
let's
you
push
guys
it.
so much. And we'll see you guys Tuesday. Don't forget to come back here Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. We will be here, and we will have one of our favorites who are in the chat that likes watching the show. We'll have Real Truth Cactus joining us for the first half hour.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that will be exciting. So come back and join us for election night coverage. I will be bringing a little bottle of champagne into the studio that night to help celebrate,
Wow.
hopefully, a fantastic red tsunami, and to bring an extra cup for all the salty tears we'll be drinking up from the mainstream media, along with the Democrats who will all be claiming the election was stolen.
Yeah, and that means for the people that are listening to this who would be watching a float show, the live stream that I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays, who you'd be typically watching then, it'll just be that. So we'll be doing that on Tuesday instead.
Awesome. So until Tuesday night, I hope you guys go out. Don't forget to go vote Tuesday. Go vote. If you have not done so already, go in person, take a friend, take a family member, go vote. Read all the way down. Let's time to let our voices be heard, and we should go ahead and exercise that right. And for all of the hosts here tonight, for Tom and PJ and Katie, I say thank you. I hope to see you guys on Tuesday. And until then, I hope you guys have a great evening. Don't forget to tip your waitress and your waiter. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
All right.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Link in the description.